Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Do it.
All right. We are live once again. BDA live stream debate, open debate panel or open panel debate, whatever you want to call it. It is I, Bobby Tex, ready for another live transmission here at the BDA headquarters. We're going to be talking about the Cotto Kamegai fight. Of course, King Butcher, I think, would prefer it if we spoke of the Mayweather-McGregor fight. And speaking of which, the one and only King Butcher joined me now. King Butcher, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. I just said
I can hear myself.
Was that?
I think you need to mute YouTube or something.
You can hear yourself.
Yeah.
No, the YouTube is
Can you hear
muted.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, no, okay, anyways. Fuck.
You don't hear yourself anymore?
No.
Perfect. You know, these type of glitches happen, man, with this fucking Google Hangout and the whole YouTube, you know, patching theory.
What do you mean I want to talk about McGregor Mayweather?
Well, you're the one that told me, hey, when you do the live stream, put Mayweather-McGregor on as the title.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like I only want to talk about that.
Shut up. I don't want to talk about my Mayweather-McGregor. I mean, if people come in and they want to talk about it, fine, we'll talk about it. But I think the little that I wanted to say about it has already been said.
But we can make fun of it.
What's that?
We can make more fun of it.
Bull fucking shit.
We can make more fun. You don't...
Anyways.
The fact that it exists already is a joke. You know it, I know it, so, you know, who we bullshit
Yeah,
here?
but everybody's excited about it, so...
King Butcher, you fucking...
The little fucking spick bastard.
Anyway. Alright, so listen. Before we get into the whole McGregor-Mayweather thing, which is, I suspect you're right, I think people are going to want to talk about that more, obviously. While it's just you and I here, let's talk about Cotto Kamegai. Okay, because Cotto... I mean, I was thinking about it all week. Cotto has been one of the biggest names in boxing of the past 10 years. Obviously, I'm not saying the biggest, because of course that would be Mayweather-Pacquiao. But Cotto was right there alongside with them. I mean, obviously he fought them both. You know, when he fought them, they did over 1 million pay-per-view buys, so you know, he was a solid B-side. And when he fought before the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York in Madison Square Garden, you know, there was a solid attendance there. But it's interesting because if you look at his career, it's almost like he's the Tommy Hearns of his era, in the sense that what was really his defining win? He lost against the two best guys in Pacquiao and Mayweather. So what is his biggest win?
That was my question last week. Who did he beat at 140? What was his biggest win at 140?
140 was just a melange of solid guys that you fight. Huh?
Like solid contenders?
Yeah, solid contenders.
It wasn't like a champion at that time at 140 that he beat, right?
Well, look.
It wasn't across the zoo or fucking Ricky Hatton or anything like that.
No. I mean, let's look at it. Early in his career, his biggest test that made him jump from prospect to, I would say, like solid pro or beginning to be a pro was when he fought Lovemore Endo. Remember Lovemore Endo?
Oh yeah.
The African guy. I think he's the one that pushed him to the full 12 rounds first, and that's the fight where Cotto showed that he could box on the back foot. Then I don't know if you remember, but he fought Randall Bailey, who was a monstrous puncher. He took him out. He also took out some Olympian from Brazil, a Brazilian Olympian who had beaten him in the amateurs, and Cotto just ran through him. So people were like, "Whoa, this guy, this Cotto, he's destroying people." And then came the Chop Corley fight, where he wobbled Cotto, and then of course came the Ricardo Torres fight, where he went life and death with the hard-hitting Colombian. So those were really his big... Oh, and then afterwards he fought, what was his name? Gianluca Branco. Remember the Italian guy that fought Gatti too?
Yeah.
So those were his... Guy. Oh, and Malignaggi. He beat Malignaggi too at one.
Yeah, Malignaggi. Carlos
back
Quintana.
then was a prospect.
Wasn't that like a feud fight? Like
it wasn't necessarily a feud fight. Well, I guess you could say it was a feud fight because both guys, I mean, Cotto being Puerto Rican had a strong following in New York, and Malignaggi's from Brooklyn, so there was that whole,
No, against Quintana.
Against Quintana, a rivalry? I don't remember. I don't remember being.
Did you say I don't remember. I remember the fight. I thought there was something behind the fight.
But yeah, but the Quintana fight, that was the one where people said, "Whoa, this guy's gonna be a powerhouse or welterweight."
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember.
Win.
I don't know if you remember, but Carlos Quintana had just beaten Joel Julio, a Colombian power puncher, who a lot of people back then, right, on the internet, they were saying that this guy was going to be the next best thing. Everybody was hyped on him. And then what happened? Quintana unboxed him. And comprehensively, I might add. And then Cotto goes in there against Quintana and stops him in, I think it was 5 rounds. 5 rounds. I mean, that's Cotto. That's when he was on. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Oh, okay, well, I'm saying we're talking about this win, but it's not a big win.
The Quintana fight?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, no, if we're trying to define Cotto's legacy, I mean, we're talking about Carlos Quintana. I mean, let's move on, fuck. I mean, I see Sab Judah in his record.
Well, you know why?
Because Sab Judah was like...
I know, but what I'm saying is the Quintana fight at the time was a big deal. It was almost like...
No, I know, but let's go to the big fights, and I don't see shit. That's the thing. I don't see a big defining win for him. Shane Mosley obviously was past his prime.
Wait, first of all, you think it's easy to steer this ship? You think it's easy to moderate the conversation?
You think that kind of automation is easy? Or cheap?
No.
You know anybody who can network 8 connection machines and debug 2 million lines of code for what I bid for this job?
I think not. Okay, you want to jump to the big wins, King Bucho? You tell me what his biggest wins would be, because I don't think you even answered that question last week.
Alfonso Gomez.
Yeah, you're surely...
The second Margarito fight was...
The what?
The second Margarito fight.
Say that again, third time?
Second Margarito fight.
Okay, because the first time you said second Margarito fight. Like you said, really...
to downplay the Spanish accent.
Yeah, you're trying to downplay the... Okay, so you think the second...
Austin Trout was supposed to be a win, I remember, and that didn't turn out well. Jesus, there's really nothing here, man.
Okay.
Ricardo Mayorga? I mean, come on.
I'm going to go ahead and since... Listen, his biggest wins, you got 3 of them here, okay? You have when he beat Sugar Shane Mosley, who was coming off a sensational... He was coming off 2 wins against Fernando Vargas and a win over Luis Colasso, who had given Ricky Hatton, the then 140-pound champ, he'd really given him a really tough time. So Shane Mosley goes in there against Luis Colasso and really dominates a guy that was 10 years younger than him. So that was a Sugar Shane Mosley that was rejuvenated, that people said, whoa, he's back to the old Shane, power boxing, using his hand speed. And then Cotto really outboxed him for the 8 first rounds, and then Mosley came on late. But I think that was, to me, that remains Cotto's best win. Then we have the second Margarito fight, although I don't even see why that should be one of his biggest wins, because Margarito had just gotten the shit kicked out of him by Pacquiao. So how is that and his eye was screwed up. So I don't see how that's a big win either. The other one would have to be the Martinez fight, but as we said last week...
Oh, yes.
But as we said last week, remember that Martinez had his 2 knees were destroyed.
He was fucked up, man. You could tell. And didn't Martinez want to wear knee pads or something?
Yes, he wanted to wear some sort of support and
well, he wanted to, and then Freddie was like, "No, that's illegal" or some shit.
Exactly. Well, I don't know what he said, but he objected to it, and that's the thing. Freddie Roach said before the fight, "Oh, Martinez's knees are screwed up. He's done."
Yeah, they knew. They knew about it.
So then, how is that a big win? You know what I mean?
No, fuck, man. I mean, if you look at his record and it's an official win and everything, yeah, it's a big win because Sergio Martinez was the legitimate middleweight champion.
Right.
But come on, we know Sergio Martinez, like you said, his legs were gone. He was old. I mean, it's pretty pathetic if that's his biggest win. Although, I mean, I'm not saying Cotto is by no means a fucking bum. I mean, this guy has a lot of talent. He's one of the best Puerto Rican fighters of all time. One of the best, obviously not the best. He's one of the best Puerto Rican fighters of all time. But it's really hard to find a defining win in his record here.
Yes, because I compared him to the Tommy Hearns of this generation. But even Tommy Hearns had that big win over Roberto Duran, where he knocked him out in 2 rounds. Cotto, again, Sugar Shane Mosley fight, I think it was a good fight because he proved he outboxed Mosley, much in the same way that, although not as comprehensively, but much in the same way that Mayweather would do it about 3 years later. But other than that, the Martinez fight has an asterisk. Margarito, the second fight, really, he's fighting a guy whose eye screwed up and probably was past it at that point. You know, Zab Judah, well, Amir Khan beat Zab Judah as well. So did Paulie Malignaggi, so make of that what you will. Who else is there? Who else did Cotto beat in that welterweight run of his? Well, he like,
here.
You know what? Cotto is good because you look at the mix of victories that he had, which included that, you know, a lot of solid guys, and you also look at the context of his fights. For example, Yuri Foreman. By the way, we have a person in the live chat, Dante Daniel Lane. Welcome to the transmission. And he's saying Foreman, and I was just about to say Foreman. Yuri Foreman was undefeated at the time, and we didn't really know what Cotto had when he fought Foreman, or what he had left, because he was coming off the Pacquiao loss, and he beat up Foreman. You know, he beat Foreman up and everything, but you know, nowadays you look at Yuri Foreman and he never really, I mean, like I said, for Cotto, when you look at him, you have to judge him on the mix of victories he had. There's no big name.
Yeah, exactly.
But he had solid victories. He showed skills. He dominated most of the guys he fought. So he definitely, like you said, Hall of Famer and one of the best Puerto Ricans of all time.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, he's fighting tonight.
That's right.
He's coming off from a 2-year layoff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in those 2 years, how many fights do you think he could have fought?
And well, definitely, if let's say he fights once a year, definitely 2.
Well, he could have added a little bit more to his resume. People are gonna start fucking hating on me. I'm not saying Cotto's a bomb. He's definitely a Hall of Famer, but he could have even taken a step further if in these 2 fucking years he would have, I don't know, maybe tried to unify the 154 division.
Right.
I know it would be hard because of the PBC and, you know, HBO and all these divisions that exist in the Roc Nation. But I mean, he could have gotten some significant fights in these past 2 years.
Oh, definitely.
It's really a waste. It's a fucking waste.
It's a waste, but when you think about, first of all, I want to say, guys, if you want to join us on the debate panel here, you can join us via Google Hangout, via the email address that is on the lower left-hand corner of your screen in green letters. That is boxingdebate@hotmail.com. It's also on the upper middle portion of the screen. You can see it there, boxingdebate@hotmail.com. Send us a message and we'll let you through on the open panel. Tell us what you think, and tell the audience as well, the whole world, what you think about what we're talking about here. I was going to say, King Bucho, about the... What were you saying, King Bucho? I was going to say that what he could have accomplished in that period of inactivity. Well, first of all, Cotto has always
he talked Triple G like this guy saying.
Was that?
In the chat. We know Cotto docked Triple G also.
Yeah,
right?
he did. But that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. For about 4 years now, or maybe more, 5 years, especially since after the Trout fight, it almost seems like Cotto has had a foot out the door. I remember after the Trout fight, you know, his wife was imploring him to retire, and he sort of didn't want to at the time. But you know, when your wife is nagging you about retiring, it's almost like you have one foot out the door already. And
sorry.
So just saying, he always seemed, especially that after that 2-year layoff against Canelo, you know, I think they were negotiating for a Juan Manuel Marquez fight. But even then, it's, you really want to fight, you find a fight, and I think Cotto's had one foot out the door for a while now.
Well, he's looking for big paydays now, and that's been happening since the Trout fight. Now, remember, when he fought Trout, the plan was for him to fight Canelo in the next year, right, in May of 20. Holy shit! When was that fight again? I'm so confused.
Which fight?
When was Cotto Trout? Cotto Trout happened in which year?
2012. I think it was the end of 2012.
Yeah. So Cotto was after Trout. Cotto was supposed to fight Canelo, right?
Cotto was supposed to fight Canelo, yes.
So there you go. So Cotto was already just looking for fucking big paydays here.
Cotto was just
It's been like 5 years, like you say, that Cotto hasn't been trying to reach any legacy fights. It's basically just been money fights.
Right.
And then he saw the opportunity to make money against Martinez. After Martinez became all this more popular after beating Chavez, so then he's like, well, I'm gonna take on Martinez. But I think they knew that there was something wrong with Martinez as well, right?
Yeah, and that's always almost been the mode of operation for Freddie Roach, and his fighters. Lately they find guys, if there's something wrong with the fighters, they don't mind.
Yeah, well, why did he fight Canelo though? That's a money fight.
Well, actually, from everything that Freddie Roach was saying prior to the Canelo fight, he thought it was going to be an easy fight. Now, of course, did he really believe it? I don't know, but I think they were basing it on the one time or a couple of times that Canelo had gone to the wild card, and he hadn't looked all that good there. So I think Roach thought that Cotto was going to be able to outbox him easily.
Yeah.
But the thing about Cotto is, against Golovkin, he could have fought Golovkin definitely, because you gotta remember that between 2013 and 2015 or 2016, Golovkin was in need of a big fight. Remember, 2016 was sort of a slow year for Golovkin. Who did he fight in 2016? He fought Kell Brook, and in the beginning of that year he fought Dominic Wade, right?
Wade, yeah, 2 fights.
So one Dominic Wade, and then against Kell Brook, a welterweight. So it was a slow year for him, and I'm pretty sure he would have loved to have fought Cotto then. But Cotto, at this stage of his career, like you said, he's looking for big fights. And I gotta ask you, right now, what are the big fights for him theoretically?
For Cotto?
Yeah.
Marcus is out of the question now.
Yeah.
Cotto's with HBO now. Golden Boys. Fuck.
Okay, so the obvious answers are then the winner of Golovkin Canelo.
See, I don't think so, man. Well, okay, yeah, it's an option, but do you really who wants to pay for that shit again?
I know, but I'm talking the only fight that would really get him out the door to train. You know what I mean? He needs motivation.
Okay, well, Cotto, by the way, he already stated that he wants one last fight this year, and then that's it. He's gonna retire. So after Kamegai, there's an extra fight, his last fight.
Okay, so it can't be Golovkin Canelo.
It could be against Canelo, I guess, in December or some shit like that, but or Golovkin.
I think Golovkin and Canelo aren't gonna be in any type of shape to fight for the rest of the year after they get in the ring together.
Well, we'll see.
I think they're gonna get busted up in there.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh, man, who knows, man? Anyways, we're talking about another fight. Okay, we're talking about Cotto, man.
Mayweather, then. Mayweather, it's a possibility, right? A rematch against Mayweather?
You think Mayweather's gonna come back?
But that's what I'm saying, is the only fights that Cotto will really get up for would be Mayweather, the winner of Canelo Golovkin, and maybe, although he had to work something out with Freddie Roach, a second fight with Pacquiao, but that one seems unlikely because, like I said, they're both trained by the same guy.
Yeah,
those
are the 2 fights I guess he would.
Yeah, I don't see Cotto going in there against one of the Charlo brothers or against Erislandy Lara.
Yeah.
So that's it for Cotto then. It's really good.
Somebody
career.
wrote Mayweather Cotto won't do the pay-per-view numbers. That's true, man. I don't want to see. I mean, shit. It also depends how good Cotto looks against Kamegai. And God forbid he fucking loses, because he might, fuck.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe.
Well, we'll talk about that later, about the X factors coming into this fight, but really think about it. Let's break it down.
Cotto Lara. Somebody wrote Cotto Lara. That's a fight I would like to see, but I don't think so.
But again, it's not likely.
Maybe, because with the PBC nowadays, since they're not paying their fighters enough, I mean, they're not giving them any bouts. Right? Because there's rumors that PBC is running out of fucking money. Yeah. I don't know if it's true or not, but again, maybe they'll allow Lara to fight on HBO and fight Cotto. But then again, that's not a big fight, though, right? It's probably not a fight Cotto wants to end his career with.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't think so. Like I said, here's the thing about Cotto. He's fought everybody. He never really cared about who he fought. Unless I'm mistaken, maybe there's been one time. No, essentially he's fought everybody that they sent his way. Think about it. Pacquiao, Mayweather, Zab Judah, Mosley, Ricardo Mayorga, young guy that, you know, could have surprised him, Yuri Foreman, Sergio Martinez, the true middle. I mean, he's fought everybody, but at this point in his career, I don't know if he's willing to risk it against a guy like Erislandy Lara, who will make anybody look bad. Right, and you know what? He's got to play the game too, Cotto.
Because it is a game, guys. You want to think it's not.
Yeah, right now, I don't know if he's willing to play that game at this. How old is Cotto, by the way? He's 30-something, right?
35, 36?
35, 36, eesh. And he's been through the ringer a couple of times himself.
Yeah. He can't make welterweight.
Well, that's the thing. Against Kamegai, Kamegai and Soto Corraz, did they fight at a catchweight or did they fight at 147?
Shit, I have no idea.
Okay, well, anyway, listen. Listen, Kamegai is a tough guy to go out.
I think it was 147, though.
Okay. This has shades of Hopkins versus Joe Smith a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cotto out of the ring?
No, not out of the ring, but what I'm saying is that, yeah, listen, boxing, it seldom ends on your terms. A career seldom ends on your terms. You look at Juan Manuel Marquez's career, by the way, who just retired about 2 weeks ago, and we didn't really talk about him, even though he's one of our favorite fighters. You know, Marquez decided to end his career because he knew he could maintain the rigorous training schedule, and his body couldn't keep up with it. Maybe his mind could, but his body said no more. So Marquez decided, instead of looking bad in the last fight or something, he said, no, I'm getting out of it. But you look at guys like Hopkins, you look at a guy like De La Hoya, who was the biggest star of his time. He went out there against Pacquiao, got humiliated. And he thought it was going to be this big step up, where he was going to get a big win. Well, I mean, it wasn't going to be a big win back then, because if he would have beaten Pacquiao, it would have been him beating up a smaller guy. Although now we know that Pacquiao is no regular small guy. But anyway, but De La Hoya, if he would have won, he thought he was going to set up more power to his advantage in a rematch against Mayweather, you know, the negotiations and everything. That didn't end well for him. Hopkins didn't end well for him. Roy Jones still going on, and it's still a misery to watch the way he's getting knocked out, and he's got no legs left. He looks like an old man in there, a literal old man. So what I'm saying is, when you think, you know, you're a Hall of Famer, and you think, okay, I still got a couple of my skills left, a little bit of my youth, I'm gonna take on a guy that's tough, but that I know I can light up. Sometimes that doesn't end well, especially when the other guy is younger and tougher.
Yeah, and well, the difference also between Hopkins and Cotto, I mean, Hopkins against Smith was definitely Hopkins' last fight, right? But Cotto and Kamegai, I mean, Cotto, like I said, he said that he wants to fight again. So
right.
I don't think he wants to go down against this type of fighter, right?
But
maybe Hopkins was already like, well, you know, I'm fucking 51 or some shit. Finding a younger 51 guy that can hit. I mean, he tried, but then again, he's like, he didn't give it that much of a fuck. But Cotto can't lose to Kamegai, especially when he wants that one last big paycheck, right? So
good point, yeah.
He might put a little bit extra. If things get tough, Cotto might start, you know, he won't just give up, this guy.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's different context here. You know, Hopkins was 51. Cotto still wants at least one last fight. And by the way, I said that Kamegai, you know, I said, oh, when you're an older fighter, blah blah. I'm looking up his record, Kamegai's record, and the guy's 34.
Oh, really? So
yeah.
He was like 30, 29, 30.
No, and Cotto was born in 1980, so he's okay. Yeah, so he's not even. There's not that big a difference in age. Although ring age might be a difference.
Kamegai looks fresher though.
Well, I mean, he also looks fucking slow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, hey, listen, speed kills, and at this point, if Cotto, I don't know, man, because it's a hard thing. Listen, as long as we're talking about it now, about styles, Cotto, if he comes in the way he looked against Canelo in 2015, and it's a big if, it's a little bit of a big if, but if he looks sharp enough like that, where he can still move for 12 rounds and launch combinations and work off of that stiff jab of his, I think Kamegai is going to have a lot of trouble, because Kamegai, he's got heavy hands, 24 knockouts out of 27 wins, but he also has to get set to punch. He has to plant his feet, and again, he's not the fastest guy in there. So Cotto, we know, has good legs, good footwork. He's a mobile guy when he wants to.
Yep.
So I think he can spear Kamegai with that jab, those combinations, and really just
Gonna spin him around and shit.
Spin him around. Listen, he did it to Margarito, and again, that was 6 years ago. So that's the question: can he still do it? That's really
Kamegai is pretty. He's a basic fighter. Let's be honest. He's not a heavy puncher either. I mean, like a fucking Golovkin or anything like that. So, but I could see Kamegai just going forward and not stopping and just keep putting pressure the whole fight, and maybe Cotto might crumble. I mean, who the fuck knows, man? Yeah, somebody wrote he's a fucking brawler. He's a brawler, man.
He's a brawler, and but the thing about him not having any sophistication isn't quite correct, I would say. And the reason why I say that is because when he fought Carraz the second time, he really showed an improvement. He rolls with the shots on the inside. Now, rolling on the inside is a lot different when the guy's not on the inside with you, which is what I think Cotto's going to do. But you're right.
He's going to jump his way out of there.
I think Cotto, again, if he's not fresh and if he starts showing his age, there might be times where he stays on the ropes because he can't keep moving for 12 entire rounds. There's going to be spots where he's going to be on the ropes, and then that's where Kamegai has to work. And listen, Kamegai has heavy hands. I mean, I know Cotto's fought power punches before as well, but at his age, after the wars he's been through, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting fight. It's definitely going to be more interesting than Mayweather-McGregor. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, I my stance on that fight, but I want to talk about Juan Manuel Marquez.
Kamegai might go Super Saiyan.
Kamegai might go Super Saiyan. He might. You never know against a guy like that.
You never know, man. Like, this is the fight. I mean, okay, who wants this win more? Like, who wants it more? Cotto or fucking Kamegai?
It's difficult to say. If
I mean, what do you mean? I think Cotto has done it all. I mean, Kamegai.
Yeah, but he has his pride too.
Huh?
He has his pride. He doesn't want to lose against a guy that's like a whole. He's a Japanese version of his Soto Carras.
Yep.
So I don't think he wants to lose to that guy now.
Somebody else, if we're gonna start discussing the circus shit fight there.
Well, we might as well get to it then, right? Get it out of the way.
Okay, yeah, somebody wants to join the
yes,
hangouts.
Hassan. All right, I hope I don't close the shit accidentally. Keep talking, Bucho.
Well, let's talk about this garbage fight of a circus that everybody's excited about. This is what I think is gonna happen. The first few rounds are gonna be boring as fuck, and the following rounds are gonna be even more boring as fuck. And then once McGregor starts getting tired, he starts getting tagged more often. He's gonna quit in his corner. In his stool, he's gonna claim that his leg, he has a cramp or some shit, or he can move his leg. And then they're gonna stop the fight, and then McGregor and Floyd are gonna be all friendly, and McGregor's gonna be like, well, I was trying a new sport, I did my best,
right,
blah blah. Floyd's gonna be like, you did great, he did great for an MMA fighter, blah blah blah. Like, they're gonna be all friendly, and people are gonna fucking go ape shit because the defense is gonna be a piece of crap. That's my take on it. Now, I'm gonna watch it because I've been invited.
You've been summoned.
But that's pretty much it, man. I mean, I don't care about that. I'd rather watch Cotto Kamegai, man. I'm gonna try to put it like on a stream or something and watch the pay-per-view on the TV or something.
Well, listen, that McGregor Mayweather fight, it's interesting now. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit curious, just in the sense that how Mayweather is gonna beat him. That's the only really thing that I'm interested in. As far as a competitive matchup, it's not gonna be competitive. Come on, and I know people are saying, well, Mayweather's old and he's 40 years old and he hasn't fought in 2 years. But come on, he's never really stopped training. You know, the guy is a gym rat, you know. So what really is gonna? How is Mayweather gonna look bad against McGregor? He can, he can still throw single shots. He can still pot shot guys. So I don't know. I mean, it's and McGregor. The other thing is, we don't even know if he can go 12 hard rounds. We don't even know if he can go 12 hard rounds in a boxing match. So it's an intriguing fight to see how a top MMA guy transitions into boxing. But that's about it. I wouldn't expect it to be competitive. Then again, this is the theater of the unexpected, so you just never know. If you guys want to watch it, anybody out there, it's a free market, and it's been an ingenious marketing strategy, a marketing event here. It has gained some publicity, obviously, and people are interested in it. A lot of people are interested in it, so you can't fault them. This is business, so good for them. And now, on the line on Google Hangouts, we have Hassan on the line. Hassan, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
All right, talk a little bit just to see if we can hear you consistently.
Tell us your predictions.
I think that McGregor, will hit Floyd with a shot, but it won't hurt Floyd. But I think, that shot is gonna get McGregor, McGregor's cult, his followers. They're slightly autistic and they're no, I'm being serious. There's something wrong with them in the head, and they think that I think he's gonna land one shot, and everyone's gonna get so hyped, the arena's gonna get all loud, and it's not even gonna hurt Floyd. And then 2 months from the event, they're gonna keep mentioning that punch like he actually done shit. That's my prediction.
Now let me ask you this:
so
you obviously get an accent, so you're from the UK, am I correct?
Yep.
Okay, what is it about McGregor? Like, how would you describe the base of McGregor's, McGregor's fan base, the core of it?
Honestly, because Irish people, they're not the smartest. They're just drunks.
Oh boy.
And the followers, and they don't think for themselves, and they just follow it because obviously they're patriotic and shit. If I was Irish, I would follow McGregor as well. So would you, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
He's like an icon over there. He's a hero.
Yeah. He's like Canelo in Mexico.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Mexicans that hate Canelo. I don't know why.
True, but the thing is, Mexican fans are a lot smarter. They're not like.
Well, boxing is when it comes to boxing against Mexicans, have more knowledge in that sport, right?
Yeah.
But now, do you think?
I think the undercard fights are going to be better. Got Nathan
Cleverly,
and
yeah. Well, the Gervonta Davis not anymore. I mean,
he couldn't even make weight.
First of all, that was a shit fight, and then he doesn't even make weight. Like, what the fuck? It's even more one-sided now.
I just hope his career doesn't end up like Adrian Broner.
Oh,
got the talent, but he just doesn't put the work in.
Yeah, well, he's hanging out with Floyd, so who knows?
Yeah, Floyd's setting up them youngsters good. He's helping them out a lot.
Is he really though?
Yeah.
He helped out Badou Jack, Andrew Tabiti, Gervonta Davis, all of them.
I hope he has the infrastructure to help him out, because I think I forgot who was it that there was a couple of, like, Gervonta Davis, didn't he have a little bit of a spit with Mayweather about payments or something?
Did he?
I don't know. I remember there was a bit of a feud between them, and then everything got sorted out. But I think you're right. I think Mayweather, as he does care about fighters, having been a fighter himself. But I just hope that the whole Mayweather promotions things actually works out for him, because as far as I know, it was just as recently as a couple of years ago, they didn't even have a promoter's license.
Yeah. But I think he will. He's got a good gym with good fighters, so I think it should work out. And he's a businessman. He knows what he's doing.
Right. Every time
Go ahead. Sorry. Alright, but what you lot got to say about Oscar De La Hoya on Twitter?
What?
Oh yeah, he went ape shit.
Well, what he say? What he
It's
say?
funny. It's funny because he was offering Canelo to McGregor.
What?
Yeah, the lawyer would have done the same thing. He would have made a fight with McGregor. He would have even fight himself against McGregor. Fuck.
Yeah, he's a hypocrite.
Yeah, but he's right though.
He's right. All right. I wanted to ask Hassan, going back to the McGregor thing. It's an interesting question. Do you think that they're very vociferous, the fan base, because the Irish, you know, as you know, they have that tradition of bare knuckle fighting, you know, particularly the Gypsies. Do you think that's why, you know, the clans are always fighting against each other? Do you think that might have something to do with the way the McGregor fans support him?
Yeah, I think that's true because if you know Tyson Fury, he's a Gypsy Irish as well, and his fan base is the same. I think it's just that Irish spirit.
Yeah, that must be it. Because I mean, they're very, very. Have you been following the build up for this McGregor Mayweather fight on the internet?
Yeah, I've been following it all.
You've been reading the comments and everything. What's your impression of some of the arguments that people come up with in order to defend McGregor?
I've heard one person say that McGregor could beat David Haye and Anthony Joshua in a cage, and I know McGregor's talented, but he can't. It's just not possible. They're just stupid. They say some of the silliest shit, and they can't accept criticism towards Conor McGregor.
I don't even think they believe all that shit though.
I think they do, but they're just deluded and they don't know what they're talking about.
Oh man.
Yeah, some of them must believe that. Some of them have to believe it, man.
Well, I mean, it's Ireland. I mean, they don't have like a good football team. I mean, fuck. I mean, McGregor has done great things in MMA, right? So I mean, it's understandable that they go crazy for him. But the thing is, I don't think they know. I don't think they know much about boxing, right? Like they don't understand that it's not just hitting. You know, there's a technique that goes behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a guy from MMA, as much as he's good in striking, I mean, it's not the same. You're not fighting, you know, wrestlers that picked up boxing and stuff like that. You're fighting actual boxers that have been training their whole life since they were 12 years old and shit like that. So I think they're missing. They don't understand that you know, there's a huge difference between a boxer and an MMA fighter.
Yeah, massive.
When it comes to boxing, honestly.
So
I think.
Go on.
No, I just think they're a bit naive, and you know, that's it, man.
I think that a good striker in MMA is like a C-class boxer or a D-class boxer, and that's someone at the top.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in the Olympics. You know, you have the sprint, the 100 meter sprinters. They can break world records like Usain Bolt and shit like that. Then you have the people in the Olympics who do the decathlon thing. They do like 10 sports, right? They run 100 meters. They throw the javelin. They can do everything, all like 10 disciplines, but they don't master any one in particular. The guy who does the decathlon, he will never break that 100 meter record. He just can't. Because he doesn't focus only on that specific sport. So it's the same with these MMA fighters who strike. Yeah, they might be good strikers in the UFC, but like you say, they're in boxing. They're in pure boxing. They're C-level at best.
Yeah. Because boxing is just it requires so much perfection, and in MMA you can get away with like mistakes in a way like that you wouldn't.
And your opponents give you, huge opportunities for you to catch them. Right? They're all open. They lunge. They don't have a good understanding of distance. So, yeah, it's one thing to knock out an MMA fighter. It's another to try and knock out a boxer. But I was gonna ask, man, like, is this fight gonna hurt boxing or help it? I think it's gonna hurt boxing because the fight's gonna be boring as hell, and then you know, casual boxing fans or people who never watch boxing at all and end up watching this fight, they will start, you know, they will believe that, oh well, this is boxing. This is what's boxing about. Like it's 12 rounds of boringness and shit. So, to me, in my opinion, this fight will certainly not help boxing.
I think it depends on how Floyd fights, not how Conor fights. Because we know Conor's gonna go all out. We know Conor in it. We know he's an aggressive fighter, but it depends if we see Pretty Boy Floyd or Money Mayweather.
Yeah, if we see the lightweight version of Floyd Mayweather, I don't think so, man. He's too cautious. Even in this fight, man, he's gonna be cautious.
Yeah,
that's how Floyd is.
He's not gonna risk his legacy.
He won't. He
Just
won't. And like you said, imagine if he gets hit. That's gonna be replayed the whole time, like forever, right? Him getting hit by fucking an MMA fighter with a record of 0-0. Yeah, no, you're right. It depends on how Floyd performs in this fight, but I am fairly certain that he will play it cautious.
Yeah, he will play it cautious. What do you think about Conor McGregor not getting a boxing coach and sticking with John Cavan?
Oh yeah.
Because I think that he was getting pretty badly outboxed by Nate Diaz. It was close, but he was getting outboxed because Nate actually set a world record on his head for the amount of punches. I don't think they don't have anything to offer him in terms of boxing. His coaches, he should have got a boxing coach.
Yeah, and then he sports Malignaggi in a freak fight, like a freak show there. Like that was only for a photo shoot. That fight, that sparring fight. Then, well, even he didn't even want to spar with Lomachenko, who's way smaller than him.
Less.
Because he knows he was gonna get beat, and that's gonna destroy his ego.
Lomachenko would put work on him.
Yeah, you know what? I think McGregor didn't want to have legitimate sparring fights, like with real boxers and stuff like that, because his ego is gonna be destroyed. And he for him it's all mental, and he needs to come into this fight thinking that he has a chance.
Do you think
sparring against? Oh, go on.
Do you think Gervonta Davis missed weight on purpose?
Yes. I mean, who knows? I mean, because
who was his mandatory?
It was okay. The criticism for Gervonta Davis is like, okay, we understand that you don't want to fight Lomachenko because Davis has admitted that he's not ready for Lomachenko, right?
Yeah.
But he has a belt. He's a champion. He's not an up and coming fighter. He has a belt already. So in my opinion, when you have a belt and you're a champion, you cannot dock anybody. I mean, maybe you can dock a guy who's in a higher weight division than you, but in your own division, you can't dock anybody. You have a championship belt, right? So by him giving up his belt, now he can say, well, I'm not ready for Lomachenko yet. I'm not a champion or something. I mean, I don't know, because it's kind of weird why he would miss weight. I mean, he's young and everything, right? So I don't know.
I just hope he doesn't end up like Adrian Broner. That's the only thing.
It's too early to tell, but I don't think he's as crazy as Broner, though.
No, he's not.
Like outside the ring. Now, Broner has like
Hassan, are you a
shit, I think, and
Hassan? Are you a Gervonta Davis fan?
So I don't know.
Hassan, are you a Gervonta Davis fan?
I haven't really watched him that much, but he looks pretty good.
So like you'd support him. You expect him to become a big star, so that at least there's a couple more stars in boxing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. I saw that fight. I forget. I think it was one of the Broner undercards. It was on PBC. I definitely remember that, but I forget which fight it was. But he fought on the undercard against a Mexican guy who was tough, but who wasn't really skilled. And Davis dropped him. And after he dropped him, and then he started doing a little bit of a dance in front of him. And when I saw that, I said, okay, I don't think I'm gonna be a fan of this guy.
To be honest, I kind of liked like the cocky attitude in like Prince Nassim Hamed.
Okay.
Roy Jones, Joe Calzaghe. I like them type of fighters who can show off.
Yeah, it's true, because boxing does need those type of guys, right?
Yeah, true. They need people who can sell themselves.
Yeah, but you also create a lot of people that's gonna start hating you, though.
But that's the point.
But then again, also haters, they pay for your fight, so I mean, it might be a win-win.
Well, hate is a strong word. Like, for example, Hassan, are there any fighters out there that you really hate? And when I say hate, I'm saying, when you're at work or you're doing something, you're walking down the street, all of a sudden you go, fuck, I hate that guy. I mean, come on, is there really somebody that you hate that much?
I mean, there's no reason for me to hate him that much unless I know him on a personal level.
Exactly. So that word hater, never really understood why people use it. I mean, I've said it before in some of these transmissions. I'm not an Andrew Ward fan. I think he kind of sticks out the wrong way. I don't know, something about him that I don't like, but I certainly don't hate the guy. And worst case scenario, I'll root against him, you know, if it's Kovalev fighting him or somebody else, right? But hate, I don't know. But
I don't really like Andre Ward either. I've even seen Andre Ward throw like a crisp combination. I've never seen him do it.
It's true, man. It's true. He's a one-punch guy.
Ones, twos. He never throws a good combination. That's what I don't like about him. When he's boring.
He smothers you.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
His style is all wrong. He's completely wrong. And is it true they kicked him out of HBO? Because if they did, then good for HBO.
They kicked Paulie out of Showtime.
What?
Well, he's not allowed to commentate on the fight.
Because he's friends with Mayweather now. Is that it?
Yep.
So who's gonna always?
Because he's got like a personal problem with McGregor, and it will be sort of biased for him to commentate. If you get what I mean.
Right.
So he's not going to be commentating.
So it's just gonna be what? Al Bernstein, Brandon Schaub, the MMA guy, and then who else?
Oh, the MMA guy is there.
I think Brandon Schaub's there. I think.
Yuck.
Well, I mean, you know, they gotta, since it's an MMA guy against the boxing guy.
Brandon Schaub is an ass licker.
You think Brandon Schaub's an ass licker?
Yeah, doesn't know what he's talking about.
Well, I think he knows that McGregor's gonna fucking lose, but he's getting paid to tell a lie, to sell the fight. So he's coming up with these ridiculous theories as to why McGregor has a chance. You know, he's like, oh yeah, McGregor's gonna come in with this awkward MMA style. What the fuck is that? Like, do you think nobody came up with that idea to fight Floyd with an awkward MMA style? Like, seriously, like everybody has tried everything against Mayweather and nothing has worked. So why would some weird MMA drunken kung fu master style gonna fucking beat Mayweather? It's impossible.
I think Mayweather, they say that Conor's a southpaw, he comes in from awkward angles, he does this, that, he does that, he won't do shit. What about Manny Pacquiao? He's an awkward southpaw.
Exactly.
He comes in from awkward angles. He's probably a bigger puncher than Conor. He's faster than Conor. He couldn't do shit to Floyd.
He's a boxer. Yeah, I know.
The only thing
there's
that
people
say
saying,
is
McGregor's
that
gonna be
McGregor
bigger,
is supposed to be
and you know
bigger.
he might land that one punch, but that's not how fucking boxing works.
Bro, I reckon he's just gonna land like even when Conor lands like a little shot, the whole arena's gonna go fucking crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a good point. Yeah, yeah. That might influence the judges. No.
I've seen the video of Froch. Froch is a fucking butthurt guy though. Butthurt that
what?
Ward gets beating.
Oh, the video from Froch saying that talking about Andre Ward.
Yeah, I think Froch is sour still. He's salty.
Yeah, but he was right though. He was saying he didn't diminish Ward's abilities. He just said he's boring, and then the interviewers were all getting pissed off there because they have this, this love for Andre Ward, and they got pissed and like, well, I mean, Andre Ward, he's winning. Yeah, he's winning his fights, but he's not winning a fan base. And the only reason why he's been winning a lot, he's been earning a lot of money in his last fights was because he had that ridiculous deal with Roc Nation. Well, that's pretty much it. That's over, I think. So now Andre Ward has to reconsider his fucking career, because you can keep fighting that way you want, like that, boring and shit, but you're not gonna win any fans. And his pay-per-view numbers have fucking sucked. You know, they suck. You know, for his more significant fights against Kovalev, you know, that's where Ward should have made decent numbers, right? He didn't. Now what's next? There's no other opponent. He's talking about moving to fucking heavyweight. You know, he's talking about also fighting
Joshua.
What's his name?
Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua. That's even worse. Joshua and the other Brit, the Everton fan there. What's his name?
Tony Bellew.
Tony Bellew, yeah. So he's fighting a Tony Bellew, maybe at cruiserweight, and then fighting Anthony Joshua at heavyweight. I mean, that's how desperate fucking Andre Ward is, because he knows that he's not a draw. He is
Yeah,
not
I
a
agree
fucking
to.
draw.
I don't know why he's moving to heavyweight. He'll get crushed by Joshua. He'll get crushed.
He's getting killed. He would get killed. Have you seen
Joshua's-
Tony Bellew is like 6'3", right?
Mm.
And he's standing next to Anthony Joshua. And he looks way shorter than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's a fucking monster, man. He's so big, man. Andrew Ward wants to fight Anthony Joshua. He's insane, and he's desperate for fucking money.
Yeah, he's definitely. But he must have earned quite a good bit from that Super 6 series and shit.
God, that was like what, 6 years ago?
Must.
Yeah, I mean,
2008.
and that Roc Nation contract pretty sure gave him a lot of money, right?
Yeah. He's doing good. He's not broke.
No, he's not broke, but
No,
I think, I mean, for a fighter that talented as he is, right, like undefeated gold medalist, couldn't he have done more? I mean, let's also understand that he had a lot of layoffs, right? A lot of years where he didn't fight or fought once every 2 years. So there's a lot of money potential money that he did not win.
Yeah, I agree. But I think what was it? Canelo Triple G is the fight to look out for, and Lomachenko and Rigondeaux if that happens.
I think it's happening. Yeah, those are the biggest fights this year, I think.
Well, first of all, let me ask this, Hassan. I guess I gotta ask it. Are you gonna watch the McGregor Mayweather fight?
Yeah.
Oh, you are, okay. Well,
I'm not paying for it. I'm streaming that shit.
Yeah. No, you should say you're hearing it on the radio.
The radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to say publicly that you're gonna stream. You know,
I don't want.
That's highly
I don't want
illegal,
to I don't want a single penny to go to Conor McGregor.
There you go. That's a spirit, man. That's a spirit. You don't want to give them. Yeah. Look, they're making money. It's a business. Good for them. But if you don't want to contribute to that, especially since, like, for example, what do you think about Mayweather choosing this as his 50th fight? Because there's people that are angry that he's choosing this.
I think it's a smart decision. I know I would have done the same thing if I were Mayweather. It's an easy fight, guaranteed win, almost guaranteed win. Conor McGregor is a big name. He brings in the fans. He brings in money. Name any other guy at around 140, 147, 154 that can bring in as much money as Conor.
The only one would have to be Pacquiao, and we all know about, we all know how that went.
And the second one, I think Amir Khan could bring in a decent fan base because he's got a big Pakistani and British following.
Oh yeah, well, how big is Khan? Because the last times he's fought, he's done it in the U.S. and the Pakistani fans and the British fans, the UK fans, they haven't really traveled all that much to see him, at least not to the level that they did for Ricky Hatton. But if he fought right now in the UK, for example, against Kell Brook, how big would that fight be?
That would be massive. Wembley sold out.
Even now, after both guys have coming off consecutive losses?
Yeah, I reckon still. Probably. In the three biggest stars in British boxing is Anthony Joshua first. He's got like 4 million followers on Instagram. And then it's Amir Khan with 2 million followers on like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And then it's David Haye. That's quite surprising how Joshua's only been in the game for 2 years and he's bigger. He's already the biggest star in British boxing in terms of following.
Well, he's a heavyweight too, right? So
he has a look of a champion too, right?
True.
Like a heavyweight champion. And then that win against Klitschko just probably fucking made it even more insane.
True.
But Amir Khan's still up there. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's got a big Pakistani following and Indian and shit.
Yeah,
Kell Brook couldn't even fucking fill out a stadium in his hometown of Sheffield. That's his hometown, and he couldn't even sell out a stadium. Imagine if Amir Khan went back to Bolton. That would be a sold-out show.
Yeah.
But would that be depending on the opponent?
I don't even think so. Even if he fought a bum, I reckon it'd still be a sellout.
Whoa, he's that so he's that big in the UK.
Because Bolton pretty much love him, yeah, Con. He's the biggest thing to come out of Bolton.
Wow, see, I didn't know that. That's interesting to know. But so you're saying that when Kell Brook fought Spence, it didn't sell out, but did that fight sell out or not?
Forget it didn't sell out. The arena was half empty.
What?
Bro,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't know that.
Check the highlights and you can see like the arena, and it's like there's hardly anyone there.
You're talking about Spence Brook, right?
Yeah, Spence.
Yeah, okay, but Spence, but Brook against Triple G, that was a sold out almost, right?
Yeah, I think that was sold out. What arena was that in?
Wasn't it in London in the O2 thing? O2 Arena, was it?
Well, let me check.
I think it was London.
O2. Yeah, it was O2. How big is O2? Let's check this.
Alright, so yeah, you go and check it. But yeah, I didn't know that Cannes was that big in England.
Yeah, it's the O2 Arena. Someone wrote.
O2 Arena.
Yeah, okay, but
20,000 people in the O2.
Well, anyways, if Brook didn't have a big fan base before, or like after, for the Spence fight, after the Spence fight, I'm sure he has even less of a fucking following now.
I think he was just a fraud all along. Who has he beaten?
No, I wouldn't call him a fraud, man. Listen, this guy has technique. You can see it. Maybe he didn't have the heart that he thought.
All right,
No?
let's look at his record. Let's look
Okay,
at his
let's look at his record. Yeah.
And Sean Porter, and that's it.
Biggest win. Yeah, I know. That's true.
And there's other people on his record, yeah. Brian Coleman with 24 wins, 139 losses. Ernie Smith with 85 losses. No, Ernie Smith with 100. Wait. Ernie Smith has 142 losses. He's fought bums his whole career.
Yeah.
Midway through his career, he fought David Kirk with 75 losses. 75 losses, yeah.
Yeah, somebody wrote Brook was a really talented fighter, but Gennady Golovkin ruined him.
Not even that. I just think he was mismanaged.
Well,
Because he was mismanaged. He got
listen, against Spence Jr., he was a broken man. Like, he was doing good, but then when shit started to turn, Spence Jr. ways, and Brook, I think he mentally crumbled. He started thinking about his broken eye socket again, I think, and he just quit.
I think instead of fighting Spence, he should have taken Amir Khan's offer of the 70-30 split.
Oh, fuck yeah. Right.
No,
But there was also a lot of shit.
Split, it was a 70-30 split, but it still would have been Brook's highest payday.
Oh yeah, because of the whole, imagine the pre-fight, all the press conferences, those would have sold a fucking fight, right?
Yeah.
And everybody knows in the UK, I think, that the feud that these two fighters have between each other.
I think it was Eddie Hearn's ego that didn't let that fight happen. No way a promoter would let a 70-30 fight happen. That makes him.
Yeah, they take a risk against Spence Jr. That was like,
yeah. And he fought Spence Jr. for 1 million when he could have got what, 10 million from Khan, probably more.
Yep.
But now that's the question, though. Why didn't Khan? I mean, could Khan have fought Kell Brook in 2017?
Yep.
What?
Could Kell Brook have fought Amir Khan? Because Amir Khan got knocked out in May 2016, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, whatever. Even if Amir Khan would have got knocked out like twice in a row, man.
But what I'm saying is he hasn't fought since.
Brook and Khan would always sell.
But what I'm saying is he hasn't fought since, so maybe he doesn't even want to fight. So that the possibility of a Kell Brook fight happening wasn't even there.
True.
So
and Amir Khan says he's going to return in November, but he always says that, but he never returns.
Well, it was a brutal knockout, and he did make a lot of money in the Canelo fight, so I don't blame him for not wanting to fight for the moment.
True. I don't blame him either, but
And Khan, really, if you think about it, he's had a long career. I mean, what was it, 2004 Olympics that he fought, and for a while now he's fought everybody.
At 17.
Yeah, and at 17, and he's fought everybody. I mean, and he's got knocked out or stopped a couple of times. So I don't blame him for taking it easy for the moment and to reevaluate his career and see where he's going.
Brook would take Khan to school. Nah, fuck that. Khan would run circles around Brook.
Really?
And box him up.
So who do you think is more damaged right now?
Damaged?
Yeah.
I think, have you ever seen an Amir Khan interview? He sounds pretty fucking, he sounds pretty, like, brain damaged.
Oh.
No, I'm being serious. It's not a joke.
Really? Alright, come on. Like, he like mumbles and shit or what?
So I'll link you his interview. He just, like, he talks like, you know, when you watch a Tommy Hearns interview and you look at these old school boxers and they're struggling to speak because they're brain damaged.
Holy shit.
He's like that already in his career.
Well, let me. I'll see if I can patch the audio through. Like, are you saying there's been a recent interview with Amir Khan? I mean, is there anyone in particular that we can look for?
Just any one of his interviews that's recent. And
okay, here's one. Here's one where he's talking about Conor McGregor. All right, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, we got an advertisement here.
He's got pretty fucking brain damage.
And you know why though? Also,
Yeah,
it's because
bad. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be, but like, yeah, the way he's been knocked out, like,
exactly.
they're fucked up knockdowns. You know, it's not just like a knockdown and he gets back up. He's put to sleep, right? Like, fuck.
Yeah, completely to sleep, out cold.
That shouldn't be good for your fucking brain.
It makes me, like, watching shit like that makes me feel bad that I'm a boxing fan.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know, I was watching that fight in a bar, and then like when Amir Khan, the Canelo Khan fight, the way Canelo Khan went down, and then he's on the floor, and, you know, he's not getting up. You know, it's like everybody kind of got quiet for a bit, like, you know what I mean? Because that was pretty horrific, man.
Yeah, and it's like have you heard Shane Mosley speak?
Shane Mosley?
He used to be a really good speaker. He used to be pretty articulate, like a smart guy. And now when you look at him, he's mumbling all over the place. He's pretty brain damaged as well now.
Fuck, really? Damn, I didn't notice that. Well, I haven't seen a lot of Mosley's interviews lately, but.
Well, hold on. Let me put here a real short audio clip of Amir Khan.
That's why Floyd is TBE, because he takes less damage and gets the W.
Well, yeah, he also fought like twice a year, and then sometimes once a year.
Hold on, let's hear a little bit of Amir Khan and see how.
Just play it. All right,
let's play.
Born in India, brought to America, Seattle. I did a couple of shows in Seattle as well. We are more about team concept. So there's team. For example, if we did it in India, we have. But what we did in India was we have Team Delhi, Team Mumbai, Team Punjab, Team UP. We have different teams. It's a team concept where there's points. So if you go for a knockout, if you get a knockout, you'll get X amount of points. If you get a stoppage, you'll get X amount of points. And it goes lower, you know. Yeah.
All right, what do you guys make of that?
Yeah, I think he's right.
Now watch an interview from 2007 when he started his career, and you'll notice the difference.
Well,
that was normal.
Yeah, but if that was normal. I'm trying to find a fucking interview where he's, you know, a more recent interview.
It was pretty normal, but I don't know. I think he does have brain damage slightly.
He's definitely got to have some sort of brain damage. I mean, all the punches he's taken, and like we said, the stoppage losses. Eesh.
Yeah.
What about those Twitters between him and his wife?
Oh fuck, that's stupid, man. He made himself look like a cunt.
Oh man.
Like Josh.
I think his wife's like, "Oh, we were hacked," and then he comes like, "No, we weren't hacked. These are true tweets." Well, anyways, we won't get into fucking gossip and shit.
Oh, we won't. Because I was just about to ask, what was that all about?
Nothing.
Crawford. Mikey Garcia. I'd move up to 147 and fight Danny Garcia. Mikey Garcia, I'd move up to 147 and fight Danny Garcia. Garcia versus Garcia.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Mikey Garcia said he'll move up to 147 and fight Danny Garcia.
Did those two guys fight in the amateurs? I think they did.
Yeah, he did, and Mikey beat his ass.
Really?
Yeah.
And how do you think that fight? Do you think that would go differently?
Same. Mikey's too good.
Yeah, what is it about Mikey Garcia that makes him so good? Because he's just, there's nothing really other than his power. You know, he doesn't.
Are you talking like the LDBC now here?
About what?
How they downplayed Mikey Garcia?
No, but that's what I was gonna ask. Like, what you know, I just for the viewers, what makes him so good?
Everything, man. Like he's like good distance, good timing, power.
Ring
He's
control.
fundamentally sound in every aspect, to be honest.
Patient. Have you seen how patient he is?
Patience,
Like,
patience.
the way he just hunted, like he slowly hunted down Adrian Broner, and he was so patient with that.
Yeah, somebody wrote Mikey has looked pretty basic to me. He's not flashy though. Is that what people are talking about? You know, he's not like he's not like a Roy Jones type of fighter. You know, it's like you go like whoa, he's pretty athletic, but
No,
he's fundamentally sound in every aspect, man. To be honest.
yeah, but
And
as we've seen in the past, a fundamental boxer beats a flashy boxer like Prince Naz versus Barrera.
Yeah, Barrera Hamed. Yeah, same thing. I mean, Hamed had the power, athleticism. I mean, just like I thought Hamed was gonna fucking knock him out, and then what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
You know, people start to forget about the fundamentals of boxing. Man. It's all about flashiness and slickness and all that bullshit. Like, come on, it's not always about that.
Yeah, but who you got for Rigondeaux and Lomachenko?
Fuck, I mean, it's gonna be a Lomachenko stoppage for sure.
Does Rigondeaux have a chin though? Because he's been rocked quite a few in the past.
He goes down, yeah, but this time he's gonna go down, and if he gets up, he's gonna go down again, and they're gonna stop the fight. I'm telling you, I'm going for a Lomachenko stoppage here. That's my prediction. I don't see any other way. Like, I don't think. First of all, Rigondeaux does have the power to hurt Lomachenko.
True.
Then, like, can Rigo actually outbox Lomachenko? I don't think so. He's way smaller. He's 5'4", I think.
Yeah.
Lomachenko's like what, 5'6".
Rigondeaux can probably make 118 pounds.
Right.
That's how small he is.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's going to up to 130. What the fuck? I mean, people are saying that this is a bitch move by Lomachenko, bringing a small guy like Rigo all the way up.
Yeah, because the lighter you are, the more weight matters, doesn't it?
It does, but I disagree with the idea that this is a bitch move for Lomachenko because
Yeah, we got
fucking
Victor
Rico's been
Atkinson
calling
on
him
the
out
line.
forever.
Yeah, true. I think, and plus Lomachenko is A side. Rigo can barely
Definitely.
fight. Rigo can barely get a fight.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, just real quick, Victor Atkinson joining us on the line. Victor, how are you?
What's up, everybody? I'm good.
Hey,
What
thank
up?
you for joining
Welcome
us
back.
again after the last chat we had. Yeah, well, we were just talking about Rigondeaux, Lomachenko was in. What did you just say about Lomachenko, Rigondeaux? I didn't hear.
Oh, I was just saying that since Rigondeaux's been calling out Lomachenko, I don't consider this a bitch move for Loma at all to take this fight. Like, a guy can't call you out and then you accept, and then you're a bitch for accepting the fight. That's on that guy for wanting that smoke.
Exactly, yeah. But I mean, Rigondeaux, I don't even see that fight happening.
Me neither.
No, it's gonna happen. The thing is, it should have happened at 126, but then Rigo didn't refuse the offer, I believe. So
Yeah.
now
And that's
it's
another
like,
thing.
well,
Rico had the opportunity to take this fight at like 126 or whatever when this fight first popped up like a year or two ago, whatever. So they fight at 130. That's still also his fault.
that's a good point. That's a good point. It's now Rigo needs the money, I believe, or he's getting older. He needs a big money fight. This is the big money fight he can get because he's not getting Frampton, he's not getting a Santa Cruz anytime soon, right? So, yep, he's going. I would do the same. If I was Rigo, man, I would jump 2 weight divisions and fight Lomachenko on ESPN. I mean, what better deal can you get, right? That's the best deal you can get, I think, for a money fight.
But man, I mean, I see people saying that Lomachenko is gonna have the size advantage. Does the size advantage in this fight really play a factor? Because it's not like Lomachenko is a slugger or anything.
No, it plays a factor.
Yeah.
It definitely, because Rico doesn't have the best chin to begin with, and he's going to be taking shots from a bigger guy. So it's going to matter. He's going to get outworked, and it's going to be bad for him. I don't see this fight being very competitive, honestly.
Whoa. Okay, that's a bold prediction right there,
That's
man.
what I said.
Yep.
But now, here's the thing. King Buchu's saying Lomachenko by stoppage. Would you agree with that?
Same. Yep. That's exactly how I have it.
But what type of stoppage do you see?
He's going to get pummeled for 1 point. Okay, Loma's going to spend the first few rounds to figure him out like he pretty much always does. By the fourth, it's just going to be a long, long beating until Rigo just can't continue anymore. And it's just put right out.
How old is Rigo?
He's going to sleep. Rigo is like 36 at this point. I'll Google this for you, but I think it's 36.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, okay.
He is. And he's junior featherweight.
Hey, bro, he's way older than 36. These Cubans are fucking fake ages.
That's what I was thinking. He looks older than that.
Yeah, he's disclosed.
It's like Luis Ortiz looks 45, man.
Right, for facts.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, so and then
he's not. Luis Ortiz is not 38 years old. He's
no, he's 45, man. At least.
Oh man.
But I was gonna say Rigondeaux. He's old and he's a junior featherweight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in those lower weight divisions, age does play a factor, like a lot.
Yeah.
Especially above 35 and stuff like that. You really start losing your speed, man, your reflexes, and that's what really matters in those weight divisions.
Well, what's going on? What's going on?
I don't know.
Oh, just one of those.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all just got quiet at the same time.
Yeah, you just got quiet, eerily quiet, like somebody was. It's, you know, it's like when you're in a room with somebody and 5 people and somebody farts and you don't know who it was. But you know what? This whole Lomachenko-Rigondeaux thing, it reminds me also of Samuel Peter, who they said he was 32 or 33. The guy looked like he was older than that too. I mean, Nigerians, I think they falsify their age as well. So it's definitely possible that the Cubans do something similar. But anyway, I mean, if Rigondeaux's older, that's
you know what's the craziest thing about that too, though?
About what?
Like, black people, we age, like, we don't show our age early on. So like, we can be like 40 and look to be in our 30s. So if they're looking 40, they're probably like old as shit, really, if you think about it.
That's fucking true.
Hey, if Bernard Hopkins can do it till he's 50, they can do it as well. That's all.
Nah, that has to do with the style how Hopkins fought. That plays a large part in his longevity.
And Hopkins lived a life of how could you call it? Like,
a clean lifestyle.
Clean, but extreme. But it was extreme, to be honest. He said it, like, he would eat once a year cheesecake or something like that, like once a year.
Yeah, but I think Bernard Hopkins will get bad brain damage in a few years. He fought till way too late.
Yeah, the Kovalev fight, the last fight against Smith, he took a pummeling, man. Like,
yeah, it makes you feel bad to be a boxing fan, like watching these boxers struggling and shit.
Yeah.
Well, then, I mean, Hopkins didn't do it for money, I don't think.
Yeah, Hopkins good for money, but still.
I don't feel bad, man. These people know what they're getting into.
No, he wanted to do it. I mean, a guy like I feel bad for boxers that are fucking broke and they keep on fighting, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Joe Louis or some shit like that. But Hopkins, you know, he's a he works with Golden Boy Promotions. He doesn't look like a guy who spent all his money. He kept on fighting for legacy purposes. I don't feel bad for Hopkins.
Yeah, I don't. No, I don't. Some fighters, the broke one.
Yeah, the broke ones. Fuck.
Well, most of them end up broke, but you know, it's
Roy Jones, man.
But here's the thing about boxing: it's you gotta look at it from both sides. Yes, you do sort of feel bad when a guy's broke and you go, "Fuck!" I mean, come on, there's no pension or anything for these guys who, most of them put it all on the line. And, you know, they get brain damage afterwards, and nobody's there to take care of them. On the other hand, whose responsibility is it to manage their money? I mean, it's not like the promoters are stealing all of their money. If they planned it correctly, they might, you know, have a solid future. Some of them are able to make it out of boxing with money in their pockets. So, you know, whose responsibility is it really to take care of these guys?
That's the thing. But a lot of boxers, they're not smart enough. They're not really like smart people. They're boxers. They're not fucking geniuses, and they just spend it all.
Yeah, that's
yeah, that's one thing. And also, there's a lot of expenses that people don't talk about in boxing. You have the training expenses, you have the promoter fee, like all types of shit. There's a whole, like when you get like $1 million payday, it's not actually $1 million. You're actually just getting about like 70K, or not 70, like 700K or some shit like that, because so much of that comes out is just from other things. And all those percentages, like your manager gets 10%, this other person gets like 10%, all that shit, that comes from that million or like whatever the pay is before they take shit away from you.
Right, it's like in the music industry, you know, like they have also the people, they pay for the, sometimes the packaging of the CD or the fucking the video. When they do a music video, they take your money out of it. So yeah, definitely they do take, like I remember, for example, when Kelly Pavlik beat Jermaine Taylor, I think they said that he was making $1 million, and then he forgot his check. He left the check in the hotel room, and they said the check was something around $600,000. So yeah, they do take a pretty big chunk. You're right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then from that, you have to factor in like those paydays. That's not for like the average boxer. That's if you're like just coming up in boxing, you're not getting anything close to that, but you still have all those fees the same way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And did you mention taxes, by the way?
Yep.
Taxes. Yep. Jeez, in the United States, they take a big cut out of that too.
But the thing is, boxing has evolved so much. Like, it's not like back in the day, Don King stealing your money and shit. Now you can sue your promoter for keeping too.
I mean, but how often do you win? And I feel like all the fighters fighting for Al Heyman, I think they get fucked over. Even though like they thank him and shit like that, I'm pretty sure they're all getting fucked over.
I think the worst promoter is probably Bob Arum. He's a fucking.
Arum actually seems like a good guy to me, honestly. What makes you say that?
I don't know. I've heard rumors that he keeps a lot of his fighters' money.
I've heard those rumors too, but he seems to actually take care of his boxers. Like whenever a boxer is like retired from boxing, they seem to be pretty respectful towards Arum, and I don't know. He just seems like a good guy to me. The only thing he's done recently that kind of bothered me, but not really, is when they had Andre Ward commentate the Terrence Crawford fight instead of Tim Bradley, like Bradley was always doing beforehand. Because Bradley had just retired. He's kind of done with he is done with boxing, and he's been in a lot of wars. Give the guy like a steady job like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, did Bradley get fired from that job?
I don't think anybody knows yet. I just know he wasn't commentating that fight, the Crawford one, and Ward was. I don't know if that's like a long-term or like a permanent thing, or if it's just for that one fight or what.
Yeah, and just going back to that Don King versus Bob Arum the little debate here, that it's true, you don't hear that many people badmouthing Arum, but you used to hear a lot of people badmouth Don King after they retired.
Yep.
So,
but Don King was a scumbag, and he took care of his fighters, but he was still a scumbag. He took most of their paychecks, and they couldn't do nothing about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking.
Well, there has to be a reason why Bob Arum's still in business and not Don King, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the backstory to that supposedly is that I think a lot of insiders got pissed enough against Don King that they banded together and effectively shunned him. I mean, it's not just one single factor, but it was one of the biggest factors that people united against him. You know, especially since Golden Boy became a powerhouse about, I don't know, about what would you say, 8-9 years ago. So I think they effectively drove Don King off of the market. And let's remember that Don King was a guy that killed somebody. Well, I mean, they call it manslaughter, I think, but
Don King was straight gangster. He had ties to the fucking mafia and shit. Like,
I mean, they all did that period though. Like everybody had some shit with the mafia.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, Bob Arum was a district attorney, I think, at one point.
Oh, was Bob Arum? He's a lawyer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a lawyer, and I think he was a district attorney. I don't know if a New York district attorney or something, but I mean, I think I would assume that most of those guys also have some sort of link to the criminal underground as well.
Yeah, which is crazy if you think about it, but like that's how it works.
Exactly. And now I'm hearing
boxing politics.
What's that?
I said it's all boxing politics.
Oh yeah, there's a whole lot we don't see behind the curtains, man. There's a whole lot of dirty stuff. I mean, I'll give you an anecdote. There was a boxing writer named Ivan Goldman. He used to write for the Ring magazine, a column, and he said that he spoke to a Hollywood producer once. Now, you know Hollywood, it's a cutthroat business over there. It's people will fuck you over just because of their ego and because it's fun. So anyway, this film producer who comes from that shark-infested pool, he decided to give boxing a little bit of a whirl. And after a year or something, he told this boxing promoter, he says, man, I mean, this boxing writer, he told him, compared to the Hollywood producers, these boxing guys, I mean, the boxing guys, they make the Hollywood producers look like a bunch of schoolboys or choir boys. That's how bad boxing is, man.
But I think it's not as bad as it used to be back in the day of like Ali and Foreman. It used to be way worse back then.
Yeah, definitely back in those days. I mean, think about it. In the 70s,
is it though? Is it? Like, it seems like when you think about it, it has to be. But I feel like I've seen more robberies recently than I have years ago.
Right, but you have to remember that back in the 70s, it wasn't up until the 80s where the FBI really started to take down the mafia. Back in the 70s, they still had more freedom to do what they wanted and to fix the fights the way they wanted them. Now, I'm not saying they don't fix the fights anymore and there's no corruption, but there's definitely something changed since the 70s and the 80s. Definitely something changed.
I don't think people take dives and shit now, but there is like corruption with the judges, the referees.
Oh yeah,
where they get instructions.
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say now.
About corruption.
No, before that.
Bob Arum, Don King, the 70s.
Cocaine.
I forgot now.
Cocaine?
No.
Well, you know what? There was
give
actually...
me a few minutes, I'll think about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Other topic then, while you think of that.
Somebody wants to join.
Somebody wants to join? Okay, you guys talk and I'll set that up.
Okay. How did Darian Vinchenko look last night? Because I missed that fight. I had to work, and I was disappointed.
Oh, I saw it, and it was exactly as I thought it would. But Deryachenko, how do you pronounce his name? Deryachenko.
Darian Vinchenko. It's a hard fucking name. A lot of these guys have these hard, difficult names.
Yeah, Deryachenko. He was dominating. He dominated the whole fight, but at some point he started getting hit, and I was like, I don't like that shit, because he's looking for a Canelo Golovkin fight, and I don't know, man. I mean, he's really good, but he's not that good.
Oh,
he gets hit though, and I don't like that. He was getting hit by this Turiano who was all beat up and all busted up, and then out of nowhere he starts throwing punches again, and he's hitting Deryachenko. So I was like, I didn't like that.
I just remembered. I was gonna say, do you think there's something fishy about Al Heyman? Like,
oh yeah, definitely. I don't trust the guy a bit. I think he's the shadiest one of the bunch. I don't trust him at all.
Like when you look at him, he's arguably the richest man in the whole of boxing. And there's what?
Well, no. The richest guy right now is actually Ryabinsky, that Russian guy.
Rya, let me Google him. How'd you spell that?
Ryabinsky, I believe is how you spell that. But he's like the only actual billionaire in boxing. He's the one that puts on like those free cards, the ones that like happen in Russia but always have that fucking live stream shit for us to watch. He's that guy.
Is Rya?
Oh. Why else he moved to the US? Oh yeah, probably also want to make fights in the US, huh?
How you spell that? R?
Oh, Ryabinsky. I think that's it. If it's not, it's very close to it.
There's hardly anything on him as well.
It should be information about him. What the fuck? Let me look this up. Because he's like on Twitter and everything.
He's got no Wikipedia.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I found his Twitter page, and you probably can't find. He has a website. It's probably because he's a Russian guy, and like all this shit is going to be in Russian. So,
True.
Like, I found something. I found a phone number. I don't know what I'm looking at because I can't read Russian. But
Alright, but yeah, about Al Heyman, the richest guys in boxing, and how is there only like 5 photos of him? I think he's a front man for someone else.
Well, it's not his money. It's not his money though.
Yeah, definitely. He sounds more like a con artist. I'm not hating on the guy, but that's what he sounds like.
There's something fishy about him, though. He's not just straight boxing promoter. There's something else to him. A drug dealer or something.
Well, no. He came from the music industry. And he got ran out of the music industry because he tried to steal money from Beyonce. That's his story. That's why he became a boxing promoter, because he can't deal with music anymore. And it's also why he's not a real like promoter, because he doesn't have that. You have to have a certain license for it, and he doesn't have that. But he does have like a legal background and shit like that. So he like found loopholes around that. But I don't think he's like a gangster or anything like that.
It's a Ponzi scheme or some shit like that.
Who would you say is the biggest gangster in boxing? All time.
Of all time?
Yeah.
Are we counting like boxers, or are we just going by promoters?
Boxers as well.
Okay.
Gangster boxer? What would that be?
I feel like there was somebody in the past that like murdered a bunch of people and shit.
What the fuck?
I'm pretty sure, like, it was a long rumor that somebody was like deep.
Oh, there's this one. Have you heard about Max Kellerman's brother?
Yeah, that guy there. What's his Julian? No.
Yeah, that guy wasn't a gangster. He was a fucking psychopath.
What's his name?
I forgot his name, but I know who he's talking about.
Butler something. What was his name?
James Butler? No.
Yeah, I think it was James Butler. The guy who hit the Grant after the fight. What was his name?
James Butler.
James Butler,
James
yeah.
Butler. Yeah.
Yeah, he was fucked in the head.
But somebody said on
No
the...
shit.
Somebody
Think he killed Max Kellerman's brother with a hammer or some shit?
Yeah, and burnt their fucking house down. Dude, I don't know how Max Kellerman can even like have any affiliation with boxing after that. That would be too painful for me. I don't think I could do it.
His love for boxing is too much.
Nah, but the worst thing is Max Kellerman's brother actually helped him out and gave him a place to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And when it came time for him to go, he said, "Get out." He just fucking straight up mashed him up with a hammer.
Ooh.
People,
James Prince against.
Isn't he the guy that looks after Drake and shit?
James Prince. He's the guy that started Scarface's label. The oh my god, what was it called? Oh shit!
I know who James Prince is. He like
yeah.
That's why Drake hasn't been touched yet.
I don't think he has anything to do with Drake. I could be wrong, but I know he had like huge connections to Scarface. I'm trying to remember what that label was called. Rap-A-Lot Records. That's what it was.
Yeah. Does anybody know the story?
Yeah, that's right. He's the guy who looks after Drake. That's because Drake's some corny ass guy. I'm not gonna. Well, he used to be corny, but
no, he still is. I mean, at the same time, the way hip hop is now, you're not really gonna get touched anyway. I mean, let's think about this. How many actual tough guy rappers are there right now? It's not like the 90s.
True. Oh no, who is there? That's a tough guy rapper.
Lil Wayne is a gangster.
Lil Wayne grew up rich.
21 Savage.
I don't remember him at all, actually. I think most of those guys are fake anyway, by the way, so my opinion doesn't really count for much in this. I'm a little bit biased.
Yo, Victor, are you watching the McGregor fight?
Oh my god, sadly I am. I said I wasn't going to. I don't want to, but my friend hit me up. He's like, he has really good beer, by the way. That's really the only reason I'm going. He hit me up and was like, oh, we're going to go out to watch this McGregor fight at this guy's house. It'll be fun. And then I'm thinking, like, your beer is really fucking good. You get some shit that I didn't even know we had in this state. So I'm going to be there for the beer and food. I'm a sellout.
I need some advice from you guys. So I got a new amateur coach, and I'm turning amateur soon. And this guy, he's kind of weird. He keeps telling me to switch from orthodox to southpaw. I'm a southpaw.
Oh, what the fuck? No. Already, no. Nah.
He's a qualified coach, and he tells me not to throw hooks at all. And he tells me not to throw.
What?
Just throw.
I told you already. Just from like the switch stance, and that was bad.
No, I'm being serious. He's a qualified coach. He's allowed to be doing this shit. He can turn me amateur and shit. So I got a new one.
Get away from him. Get far away. See, the thing with switching stances. I used to box, by the way. The thing with switching stances is, unless you're ambidextrous, it's not actually good for you, because when you're training that one thing, because you're not like, that's not your dominant hand anyway, that's not how your body works, it's always going to be worse than you training your dominant side. It's always going to. Unless you're ambidextrous, there is no real benefit to it, because even if you like develop that shit, that same time could be put into like developing your your base more, and it would learn quicker. You should not be switching stances. It's not good for you unless you're ambidextrous.
Yeah, true. But the thing is, and it can also ruin your muscle memory.
Yeah, and also the thing for hooks, if you're like fighting, if you're like a big rangy guy, you shouldn't really be throwing that many hooks because you get punished for that. But not to throw hooks at all is bad. Wait, how long have you been doing this though?
I've been training since like 2013, but I'm only going amateur now.
Oh yeah, he shouldn't be telling you to do this at all. I was going to say, like, if you just started, maybe that's why he's saying, like, don't throw that shit, because sometimes if a guy just starts, they want you to just focus on your 1-2s, do basic shit like that. But nah, this guy, he doesn't seem too good. Has he actually improved any fighters that you know of? Or, like, tell me his good training things, like things he's done as a coach.
I don't know, but I know he's a good trainer because he comes to my gym, which is a good amateur boxing club.
See, honestly, that in itself isn't good. Oh, it's not an indication that he's good, because some guys...
Because, look, have you heard of Sam Eggington?
Yeah.
He trains at my gym. Have you heard of Frankie Gavin?
Yeah.
Trains at my gym. Well, he used to train at my gym. He's left now. He's a fat shit. But,
yeah, but, like, that in itself doesn't mean, like, this trainer is actually good. Sometimes these things end up just happening. And just from the advice that he's giving you, that's not good advice.
Yeah, true, but I'll probably switch trainers. I don't even like him. He's a bit of a cunt. But yeah, I'm pretty tall for like the weight that I fight at. I'm like 5'8" and I'm 60 kilos.
Shit. What's that in American? What's that in pounds, yo?
I'm 61, but no, I'm correct.
60 kilogram. I'll just do a transfer. Kilograms. Thank you. You're 5'8", shit.
Yeah, but I've been training for a while, and I've sparred amateur guys, and I can hold my own against them, so I think I might go for it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you've never had an amateur fight before?
Nope.
Okay.
I've sparred with amateur guys.
And how's your cardio?
I'm training in an amateur club, but I'm turning amateur in like...
Okay, but how's your cardio right now?
Sorry?
How's your cardio? Like you said, you can hold your own with top amateur guys. Like how many rounds do you do?
The thing is, cardio doesn't matter because amateur fight is what, 6 minutes?
Yeah, total.
No, it still matters though. It's very, very different. It feels weird.
Yeah, true, because of how short it is, the guy will come after you and give it his all out, and he'll gas out in one round. So
yeah, exactly. You still need that explosiveness in there. I mean, it's not a 12-round fight, obviously, which, you know, a professional championship level fight is more like a marathon. This, you know, an amateur fight is more like a sprint. But nevertheless, like Victor said, you still need to work on your cardio because it's you gotta explode in there. You know, I mean, what is it? 2-minute rounds?
Yeah.
2-minute rounds.
3 2-minute rounds. You gotta go fast in there, man, because a lot of those, oftentimes those fights can be like fencing. Both guys going in and out, and the judges, they don't have a lot to separate each guy, so they just go, you know, sometimes they just throw their arms in the air and say, okay, I'll pick this guy.
Yep.
But the thing is, every time I've gone to...
also, since you've never had one fight, I'm going to give you like one little piece of advice here. You're going to get fucked up. Well, not a lot, but sometimes what's going to happen is that the judges are just going to fuck you. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just don't get discouraged when that happens.
Because it is a game, guys. You want to think it's not.
It happens a lot,
What the hell?
man. What?
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
What the fuck was
It
that?
is a game, guys. You want to think it's not. Because it is a game, guys.
It's a soundboard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I shouldn't have said it what it was. I should have kept you guessing to what the fuck it was. No, but yeah, Victor, you're right. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
One bad habit I've developed is I bounce too much. I'm always bouncing on my feet, and I run out of, and it's obviously bad for my cardio, and I just can't get down my head. So I don't know how to like break a bad habit. If you get what I mean?
Yeah. For those, you just don't do it, or like be conscious of it, and then just stay conscious of it and keep training while you're staying conscious of it, and eventually like muscle memory, and you just stop. It takes a while though.
Yeah.
Hassan, what's your boxing style?
I'm a southpaw.
Yeah, but like, are you a boxer puncher, or you like to go forward?
I go forward, and that's it. I just brawl. I just do whatever I fucking can.
All right, that's the spirit.
I mean, it's amateur boxing. It's not going to be. I mean, it's amateur boxing. I'm only 17 years old, so you can't really expect it to be a fucking game of chess. You just go out there and swing.
Right.
And it's going to be my first.
Yeah, it's like what, 3 rounds?
3 rounds of just swinging. I'm being serious. That guy, because when it's your first amateur fight, everything you learn just goes out the window. Nerves and shit.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it. My cousin just went amateur, and he looked good in training, but when he went into the fight, he was just swinging, and he managed to come out on top.
Yeah, Victor, I'm sure you've seen tons of guys too that they look good on the bag. They look like Tommy Hearns in there, you know, when they're hitting the mitts too, and then once they step in the ring,
definitely.
Like Hassan said, it all goes out the window.
As Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a game plan until you get punched in the face.
That's exactly that, right, man? And like you said, the adrenaline of the first of it being the first fight, but then again, once you get inside the ring, everything else, like, you don't hear the crowd anymore. So, but even then, you know, you can try 6-punch combinations, you can try to hook off the jab and all that, but then once you get in there, you might just end up throwing as many 1-2s as you can, and it just becomes a brawl. That's gonna be the first fight, but then after the first fight, you sort of learn how to
calm down a bit, adjust.
Yeah. Victor, what was your style like?
I was dumb. I was very, very dumb.
That's not a style.
I was stand toe to toe and brawl with anyone.
Holy shit.
Because I just like that sort of thing. It was dumb as shit, though. There was no need for me to do that.
We got a bunch
Eventually, I
of
learned, though. Became more technical. I wish I could still box.
Why can't you? You're too busy?
Bro, you can never forget boxing. Once you get it, it's in there forever.
Oh, no. That's not what I meant. It's a health problem that I had after, like, 17 or whatever, and I had to stop.
Oh,
yeah, I was just unlucky.
Okay, because of health reasons. Yeah, that's gotta suck, man. When how old are you now?
24.
Okay, so when did you stop boxing?
When I was 18, actually. I kept trying for a while, and that shit, it was not working. I would go to the gym, I had no energy, I couldn't take a shot the way I used to. It was just really bad. So I was like, yeah, this is it for me.
Man, everybody got AIDS and shit.
No, I'm not saying you had AIDS, but that's the only medical sound I had.
It makes sense, man.
Yo, did y'all ever hear that thing of fucking Omar Figueroa talking about how he injected monkey blood into his hands to try to heal them?
What?
What are you talking? No way, man.
Oh, yes, I'm dead serious. Let me type this in for you. You can guys just watch this when you get a chance. It is the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
Hey, bro, have you seen fucking Mike Alvarado shadowboxing?
No.
No,
I have not.
It's the most retarded shit you'll ever see in your life. I'll link you it. Bro, he looks like Soldier Boy. He looks like Soldier Boy when he
Speaking of that, is that actually still gonna happen? That Soldier Boy and...
Oh yeah.
That's not.
I don't think so.
Hell no.
Please, somebody film me
that whenever you get a chance.
Fill me in. Soldier Boy and who's fighting?
Oh, Chris Brown.
And what are they fighting over?
I don't know. So probably.
My goodness gracious.
Oh, I think it was Soldier Boy liked Chris Brown's ex-girlfriend's picture on Instagram, and then Chris Brown just...
This is the world we live in, where that is cause for a fight. That is amazing.
It's money, man.
Well, I'll tell you this.
It's just Chris Brown. He's like that.
But even amateurs right now, they're here where I live. These fucking amateurs, young guys, they talk to each other through Facebook and Twitter, so they know each other. So that by the time they step into the ring with each other, there's already a bad blood between them. That didn't used to happen 10 years ago. I don't know what the hell's going on with social media now, but it's even creeping into the amateur system.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that happens a lot in my gym.
Yeah.
Mates, one time one time, like a fucking car rolled up outside my gym with bats and shit, and they just beat the shit into one of the boxers. and then like all of the coaches just came out and chased them off. Literally, like they just pulled up and just like fucking him up with a bat.
You live in England or
England?
Ah, fuck, man.
What?
Well, I'm
Mate,
just
England
saying
isn't
this
all
shit.
about cup of teas and shit.
Yeah, some places in England are actually savage. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, they're pretty fucked up, to be honest.
Well, Millwall. What's that football club then?
Millwall against West Ham.
Yeah, they're always getting into fights, man.
Bro, free Coutinho. Free Coutinho.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, yeah, from Liverpool.
Free him.
No. I don't think so.
Bro, they've trapped him in his contract. He's not getting out of that. No team will pay 150 million.
Well, you never know these days, huh?
Yeah.
Fucking Neymar. Why are we talking about football here?
What are your thoughts on Eubank? What about Eubank?
Eubank.
I don't think he's as good as people make him out to be. I don't have a lot of faith in him.
He's not that bad, but he's not
Bro,
that good.
his dad was. You must admit, his dad was a warrior and a half.
Oh yeah, definitely. Chris Eubank was a fucking amazing guy. I just don't see that in his son. But he's still young. He has talent to develop, but I don't think it's going to happen. But you know what? That being said, though, I think he's going to do well in the cruiserweight, the super middleweight tournament. Yeah, I think he's going to do well in this tournament.
That's a decent tournament. I mean, I was when they came up with the idea of the World Boxing Super Series, I was like, is this going to be like a watered down tournament, you know, with no name boxers? But now I'm fucking surprised. It's a really good tournament, both cruiserweight and the super middleweight tournaments.
Dude, the cruiserweight tournament, I'm more excited for that than anything else in boxing right now.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
She looks better than a 10-inch dick, and you know it.
What the fuck?
What's I gonna say about the? Do you know who's gonna televise that?
Who
They'll
televised?
televise it in the UK.
Oh, okay. For the tournaments,
Yeah.
in the cruiserweight one, it's going to be on different channels, I think, because there's going to be like some kind of like conflict in between all the boxers and shit like that. But we know that Usyk has a contract with HBO, so his fights are going to be there. I think Gassiev has the same thing. We're going to see his fights. I'm not sure about Britis, and I'm not sure about the other seeded fighter. But Usyk, we're going to be able to see all his matches. Because they're all Eastern Europeans for the most part, if they do fight in Russia, I think what's going to happen is that Ryabisky guy is going to like stream them online like he always does. For the super middleweight one, it seems like a lot of those guys are British. I'm hoping that Box Nation or Sky will have them, because then it's going to be like easier to find and shit like that. But if not, there might be a couple of matches that we're just not going to be able to see in America or
Showtime's probably going to show some, right? Showtime.
Hopefully. I'm hoping.
They've done a pretty good job of telecasting fights that we thought they would never telecast in the US, and they end up showing them, like some UK fights. I don't remember which ones exactly. Like there were some Ricky Hatton fights that they showed, the Anthony Joshua fight. So I'm hoping that they keep on this tradition and start showing us these fights that happen in Europe. Well, who knows, man. Oh, by the way, I think today Bob Arum's gonna announce like the deal that they reached with ESPN, like the 4-year deal, and then they're also gonna show, like, ESPN bought the rights for all the top rank archive fights, like all the old fights that they have. So they're gonna be showing them on ESPN too. They're gonna have a show, like a in-studio show, documentaries.
Oh, nice.
And they might even show fights on ABC. Because, you know, ABC is part of Disney and ESPN and everything. So, yeah, they might show fights on ABC as well. So that's pretty fucking good for boxing.
Yeah, that's great for boxing.
Hey, you know, they're selling Conor McGregor versus Mayweather for £20, and in the US is $100. What's up with that?
Is £20 a lot? Like, what is £20? Is that like $20?
Like $25.
Well, like 35. I think it's 35.
Okay.
$25.
$30.
Okay. You guys are lucky then.
$25 US.
Why though?
Well, they're fucking robbing you in America.
Yeah. I guess the idea is that they don't think the fight would sell that well at that price in the UK since Mayweather's an American. I don't think anybody cares about Conor that much there.
No, they do. They do.
Do they know their boxing?
That's right, because he's Irish.
The UK is a
No, yeah.
country.
No, UK don't. They know their boxing. Boxing is fucking popular.
Oh yeah, no. I knew that. It's just that this isn't really. This is like farce. This isn't a match that I would expect people that really like fuck with boxing heavy to even care about. So I wouldn't try to charge them that much there.
Yeah, but it's Floyd Mayweather, so
you know,
they know Floyd Mayweather for sure.
You know, in some countries, the TV company pays, the TV channel pays for everyone, so they can watch it for free.
Interesting.
That would be dope if they didn't here.
These fucking assholes, these fucking assholes! The fuck is their problem, man?
Yeah, $100, man. Fuck you, man.
Hey, you can watch Cotto Kamegai for $19.
Wait a minute, that's pay-per-view over there?
No, it's Box Nation, no?
I don't know. Is it
in the UK, I think it's Box Nation.
Cotto versus Kamegai. That's pay-per-view. It's going to be the biggest pay-per-view flop of all time.
I hope it is.
I doubt they're putting that on pay-per-view. They're definitely not, because the fucking Cotto and Kirkland was supposed to happen, and then that fight like just a fucking appeared just out of nowhere. So I think what happened for that one is they saw the pay-per-view numbers weren't like hitting the way it was supposed to, so they would just cancel the shit. You know, the projections for it and shit.
The only reason that fight, the only reason why Cotto against Kirkland was going to be pay-per-view is because they needed the money to pay Cotto. Because remember, he was still with Roc Nation, and Roc Nation had this fucking crazy contract with Cotto where they had to pay him I don't know how many millions per fight. And
Let's talk
the only way
about...
they could get the money was that way, pay-per-view.
Yeah, let's talk about Roc Nation for a minute. Do they like throwing away money? I feel like they haven't made anything recently.
I don't understand. Do they even, before coming into boxing, did they do some fucking research? You know what I mean? Like how it works?
It doesn't
how
seem like it. It does not seem like it.
They come in with ridiculous purses and they promise these purses and they're like, okay, then they get... But the thing is, why would they go after a guy like Rigondeaux? Like,
right.
Seriously,
it's like they picked the most boring guys and like...
Andre Ward, it's like, what are you going to be...
That's so true. That's so true.
I mean, and... The only guy that I'm going like, okay, that was a good move was getting Miguel Cotto, right? But even then, you know, he was getting older. It's an older Cotto, but still, he had a huge Puerto Rican following.
Yeah.
But the other two guys, I don't know, bad move.
Terrible move.
Hey, where do you think Pacquiao would be if he left Arum in like 2006, 7? Where do you think he'd be now?
Golden Boy.
The same.
No,
oh, you mean
like,
where? Wait, do you mean like where in his career or like what promotion? Oh, I think about the same, honestly. I mean, Pacquiao, it's not like he got where he is because of like taking easy fights or like somebody gave him that shit. He took everything that he earned that shit. So I think he'd be exactly the same.
True. But the thing is, I don't know. Because when you look at it, Pacquiao, I mean, it just seems like Bob Arum just used him as a cash cow and he's just ditching him now. He's just leaving him now.
I mean, is he though?
Yeah. He couldn't give 2 fucks about Pacquiao now.
I don't know.
I mean, like, what makes us say that though? Because Pacquiao fought Horn and got robbed there?
No, okay. He's kind of right in the sense that, this is my opinion. Bob Arum wanted to make the Pacquiao Crawford fight because he wanted the passing of the torch. He wanted, so he's in a way he wanted to get rid of Pacquiao. Like he was disposable in that sense, though.
And plus,
yeah, I mean that's kind of what you kind of want though as a promoter and as a fighter too. I don't think that's that bad of a thing.
Yeah, but
well, Pacquiao felt disrespected maybe because he knew what Bob Arum was trying to do, which is normal. But
But the thing is,
again, maybe Pacquiao wanted more money than what Bob Arum was offering him.
Also, at the same time, I think that Pacquiao actually wanted the Crawford fight anyway, because Pacquiao has always been trying to like fight good people, you know?
Yeah, Pacquiao's not a duck. He's not a ducker.
Well, he fought Bradley the third time. To me, in my opinion, it was like you already beat Bradley twice, basically, and so
that
so
fight.
Pacquiao had confidence. I don't think Pacquiao was scared of a fucking third fight with Bradley. I don't think so. And then he fights Jesse Vargas, which was a tough fight, but then again, it's a guy who, let's be honest, doesn't punch that hard, except one fight where he did almost knocked out Bradley. But Jesse Vargas is not a hard hitter.
Yeah.
So Crawford is a different monster, though. Do you really think Pacquiao wanted to fight Crawford? I don't know.
I think he wanted to because Pacquiao tried to get a fight with let's see, who was it? It was Danny Garcia. Did he try to get a fight with Keith Thurman? It was like at that point where he found out he was fighting. Yeah, he tried to fight like everybody. He couldn't get a fight. It makes me think that if he wanted to fight those guys, he probably also wanted a piece of Crawford. Crawford was also offered, wasn't he? And then we found out that like Crawford priced himself out, and then Crawford posted that he didn't on Twitter or some shit like that. It was weird.
Yeah, those are But who knows? I mean, really, we don't know. You know, like we can only speculate and read what. But
the thing that makes me think that Crawford is the one that ducked is like his phrasing for the thing. Like he posted on Twitter that like he never got offered a Pacquiao fight, and then like immediately after or in the same message he was like, but Pacquiao priced himself out. But I'm like, you just said that there was no offer or anything.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Stop lying to the fans. Stop lying to the fans and be real.
Who was that? Jean Pascal, obviously.
That was Jean Pascal, yes. But it's true about this fucking Terence Crawford. At this point, Terence Crawford, I think, I don't want to say it. I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I think he murders Pacquiao at this point.
I wouldn't say murders, but I would favor him heavily in that fight.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Pacquiao, he looked like shit against Horn, man.
Yep.
And that's considering the fact that I think he won the fight.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I also agree that I think he won.
But that's the thing, though. At this point, you know, Pacquiao, if he's gonna fight Horn again, he better fucking beat the shit out of him this time if he wants to keep fighting. Because at this point, I don't see him. I mean, he's still a big name, but against, would you give him a shot against either Mikey Garcia or Terence Crawford?
Garcia might be too small.
Pacquiao's a small guy himself. That size is not really a thing. Oh, that's another thing that bothered me about the Crawford thing. When he said he wanted the fight done at like 140 or whatever. I'm like, bro, come on, fight
Pacquiao can make 140 though. Even Freddie Roach has said it though.
Yeah, he definitely can, but that's not my issue. My issue is Pacquiao. Let him fight at whatever weight that he even wants to fight at.
Yeah, he's a legend, right? Though.
Yeah. And like you're a big guy for 140, you can definitely make 147. So if he wants to fight at 147, you still have that size advantage. You're bigger than him regardless. Just take the fight. Fuck it.
Can we talk about the Crawford Indongo fight again? Because I mean, I remember last week we talked about it, but that was the pre-fight thing. Now that's a post-fight. Indongo, I mean, what's this guy? How good was this guy, man? To be honest.
But they said he's a tricky southpaw, and Crawford ran right through him.
I mean, that was my prediction, and it's fucking on the record. I said Crawford, and back me up the BDA. I said this shit. Crawford's gonna knock out this guy, and he's gonna stop Indongo, and he did. Because I saw Indongo's fights, and I wasn't really that impressed.
And you know it.
I don't remember you making that prediction, man. I don't remember you making that prediction.
I said it. It's fucking on the record. It's on the last stream we did.
Nobody's gonna go back to that episode. Nobody's gonna fucking look.
Okay, but I said it. Man. Come on. Who the fuck was Indongo? And he had 2 belts. Wow. I mean, like these days. I mean, let's be honest. You can grab belts easily these days, man. There's 4 belts in every division.
Here's the thing. What would you say is the most competitive weight division right now?
Everybody's thinking.
I think it's super middleweight.
You know what?
You have there. You have.
Like in the UK, it's super middleweight.
140
Like, in the UK, it's super middleweight. 140 is 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 super middleweight.
Okay, so UK, like you're talking with local fighters there, right?
No, he's talking overall.
Like George Groves, Chris Eubank, James DeGale, Callum Smith.
Yeah, but George Groves, I mean, yeah, it's competitive. If that's what you're talking about. Is he the best?
Chris Eubank. I don't know. What's better than that?
Well, where are the most elite fighters at? Where are the most elite fighters at? I mean, George Groves. Welterweight.
Reverse Lee saying super flyweight.
Super flyweight doesn't get enough recognition because no one wants to watch malnourished people fight.
No.
Malnourished.
It's not normal for a human to weigh that much. 115.
Well, they're like 5'3" sometimes. So imagine you're 5'3" and skinny. So yeah, you're gonna weigh.
It's still not normal for you to weigh that less. Like my fucking right testicle weighs that much.
Bro. No, they're not. But they're exciting weights, to be honest. I mean, me too. At the beginning, when I started watching boxing, I was like, I don't want to watch, these weights. But then, you start to get to know the fighters. You start to watch the fights, and you go like, this is pretty exciting. I mean, these weight divisions are pretty popular in Mexico and shit like that, in Latin America. I mean, go ahead.
What's the most competitive?
Sorry, you were cutting off, man.
Sorry, I said, what would you say is the most competitive then?
Well, if
no, you're right. Competitive. Super middleweight is the most competitive. You're right. There's tons of fighters there, but the best division where there's the most elite fighters and fights that the world wants to see is probably welterweight. And Crawford's coming in there now, so yeah, probably welterweight.
I go with light heavyweight or cruiserweight.
Cruiserweight?
Yeah, cruiserweight is actually pretty big right now. It doesn't seem like because they're not like big names, but Usyk, Bredes, Lebedev, Glowacki, Hook can probably still go. Then you have that Kurt. I can't say his name. Dimitri Kurt, the fucking K guy, whatever his name is that I can't say.
Kuryeson. What's his name? Wait.
KUD other stuff. That guy.
What about Alexander Usyk?
Usyk, yeah.
Usyk.
That's it. But this is the welterweight division right now. So they've got Lucas Matisse, Jeff Horn, Lamont Peterson, Jesse Vargas, Kell Brook, Sean Porter.
Why? Hold up, bro. Why did you start with them? Why did you start with them?
I'm going from
top, bottom to top.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going from bottom. Then Errol Spence.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah, Errol Spence. Good one.
He's got a lot of stars in it.
It has a lot of stars, but as far as like great super elite talent, I feel like there's Thurman, Spence. I don't think Brook can actually compete at 147 anymore. I'm being completely honest. I think he's going to be too drained at that weight. I think he's done at 147. Plus the 2 orbital bone breaks, he may be done in boxing for good, honestly.
Oh, Kell Brook. Yeah. He's mentally broken. Like we were talking about before, he probably can sell any fights in the UK anymore. Who wants to see Kell Brook again? Hassan said he didn't even sell out in Sheffield, so fuck.
Yeah, I want to see Kell Brook again. I just don't want to see him at 147 again. He's draining himself too much. That's not his optimal weight.
Okay, so he moves to 154.
Yep.
All right,
so what I think he's Lara or some shit.
Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Jeff Horn, Sean Porter.
Jeff Horn, please no.
Manny Pacquiao.
Right.
Lucas Matisse, Danny Garcia, Jesse Vargas, Sam Eggington, Andre Berto. Who else we got? Luis Colazo. Chris Van Heerden, Carlos Molina, Jesse Vargas. I think I've already said him. Amir Khan.
Yeah.
Kell Brook. That's it.
Everyone you named, there's like 4 that I really enjoy that I would like call like super elite, top of the line A-level fighters.
Who's that?
Oh, that would just be Keith Thurman, Sean Porter. I don't actually rate Danny Garcia that highly. There's
never did.
Same.
No, seriously. After all those controversial wins, come on, man.
Exactly. No, I agree with you entirely.
And then the way he lost against Thurman, he fucking vindicated what I was saying the whole time. This guy's not an elite boxer.
Honestly, at the same time, that fight, Thurman disappointed me too, because he kind of ran the last 3 rounds. That is not how you're supposed to finish a fight.
Listen, I was rooting for Thurman, okay, at the beginning, before the fight. And then as the fight progressed, and then in those 3 rounds, like you say, he kept running. I was rooting for Danny Garcia, and I fucking hate Danny Garcia. I was rooting for. I was like, please land something, make this exciting, because this guy's just fucking running away. But then again, you gotta understand, this was the biggest fight for Thurman and for Garcia. And Thurman was completely dominating. He knew he got all those rounds in the back, so he pulled out a sort of like a De La Hoya Trinidad. He just fucking ran.
I don't like that. That is not champion behavior to me.
No, it's not. It's really not. But I was more disappointed with Danny Garcia, to be honest. Thurman fought his kind of, a smart fight from the outside with a jab. Danny Garcia just looked too flat-footed, and he looked like the Danny Garcia that we saw against Mauricio Herrera.
Exactly, yeah. But you know why I wasn't disappointed in Danny Garcia that much? Because that's Danny Garcia's skill level. That's kind of what I thought he would look like. I'm disappointed in Thurman because I feel like he's the better boxer. I have higher expectations for him, you know?
Yeah, no, that's it. He hit his plateau. He wasn't gonna go any. He doesn't have another gear, you know. That's it. Danny Garcia. He was I don't want to say hype job, but he was.
You know, you can't cook with cold grease. You got to turn the stove on.
Yeah, Keith Thurman doesn't knock out anymore, by the way, huh? You know, the one time
he needs to change his name, honestly. And that's the thing, like his name. If he didn't keep saying one time all the time, I wouldn't care about his lack of knockouts. But you can't keep telling me you're gonna knock somebody out and then you don't knock anybody out.
No, back in 2012, he was, but then he stepped up in competition, and
exactly,
they have better. The fighters have better chins, and that's what happens. You can just fucking knock them the fuck out.
I like Keith Thurman. I think he can be marketed properly. If he would have stayed with Golden Boy, he'd be in a whole other stratosphere right now of marketability and name power. But right now, as it stands with the PBC, like we said last week,
this one fight a year business is not good for him.
Exactly right. It's not a good plan. Did we talk about Thurman versus Spence?
We didn't. I'm not actually sure who I would favor in that matchup, honestly. I still don't know enough about Spence. Like, we've seen him against Kell Brook, but like I've been saying for a while, that version of Kell Brook is not the same Kell Brook that fought Golovkin. That is not the same Kell Brook that even fought Sean Porter. That's not telling me enough. I have a lot of questions about that fight. A fight between Thurman and Spence, I mean.
Right, because like you said, we don't know enough about Spence. Like, remember, like we talked about last week, where we thought that Kell Brook was actually outboxing Spence, and didn't you have him leading by? Didn't you have Brook leading by 1 point before he got stopped?
I believe so, or like dead even, but it was up in the air at that point. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. So Keith Thurman, I think he's a little more durable, or am I wrong?
Is he though? Because Colosso had him hurt pretty badly with those body shots, and Porter made him run. Porter isn't really known for his power so much as he's like good at swarming you. So I think Spence can actually hurt him to the body, especially. I think Spence can hurt him.
Well, Porter hurt him to the body as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think Thurman can really be hurt. And at the same time, though, I think Spence can. I think Spence is a glass cannon.
What do you mean?
I think that his durability does not match his power. I think if he fights somebody like Thurman, we may actually see a return of a Thurman knockout.
Whoa, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. You're right, though, because Kell Brook, I mean, I haven't watched the fight in a while now, but he was catching him with some right hands, but they weren't exactly...
He was.
They weren't exactly right hands, right?
Exactly. And, like, the reason why those shots didn't really affect Spence that much, really, I mean, they hurt him, but it wasn't like he was about to get knocked out by them. I'm sure it's because of how drained Brook was. Brook didn't even look good at the weigh-ins. So I think if a drained Kell Brook can do that to you, a healthy Thurman can hurt you worse.
Oh, fuck, yeah, I think... And Thurman, does he make the weight properly? I mean, I haven't heard anything about
definitely. Him. I have never heard any problems about Thurman making weight.
All right, hold on. Hassan is asking me to patch him back up into the conversation.
Oh, I didn't even know he was going. I was wondering why he was so quiet.
He's still there, no?
Was that?
He's still. I can see him. He's still there, no?
No, he's not.
Oh no, he's not. Oh.
Yeah.
Let me just patch him back in. Sorry about that.
So do people want to still listen to our predictions for Mayweather-McGregor or something? Or?
Would you stop it with that?
Well,
no,
fuck, we named the whole
serious.
shit Mayweather-McGregor live stream shit, so I mean...
Sellouts.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Man.
And we talk about Spence and Jr. and Brooke.
Hassan, welcome back.
Hey, yo.
All right, now this is the thing about the BDA live transmission is this is for the boxing fans. So you guys come in here, you talk about whatever you want to talk about. You go ahead and whatever's on your mind.
What would you guys like to see next for the winner of Canelo and Golovkin? Because there's a bunch of well, not like a bunch of names, but like a bunch of contenders at middleweight that could get a shot. So what do you guys want to see happen next?
You're getting ahead of yourself here. We might see a trilogy here, man.
We might. Well, I don't think it's going to happen immediately though, because I mean, there's so many belts on the line for this. I think somebody's going to have to take a fight in the meantime. Step aside money though.
Yeah, I think the sanctioning bodies would take a step aside for the.
Yeah.
Because a Canelo rematch would be fucking huge.
At the same time, though, let's think about this. If Golovkin wins, and Golovkin is like that big punishing style, would Canelo even be in shape to take the rematch immediately?
It would probably happen in May, Mexican Cinco de Mayo, some shit like that.
Let's see, what month is it now? Yeah,
that's a May. Yeah, away. So that's like yeah. I think that's.
I think both of these guys like to stay busy too, so I imagine that if they're both able to, we're not going to see a rematch right away, even if it is a close fight. I think we would have to see them fight somebody else, just for the sake of they like. To
really,
stay busy.
would you risk? Would they risk that?
Golovkin was going to risk it for the Billy Joe Saunders fight. That's not much of a risk, I think, but he was definitely going to. The only reason that fight didn't happen is because they wanted to promote this fight more.
How do you reckon Erislandy Lara versus Floyd Mayweather would play out?
The most boring match. I would rather shoot myself and see it.
No, let's not talk about that shit. Lara is the worst, man. He's a Twitter fucking warrior, man. This guy loves to fucking tweet and call out everybody.
I think he beat Canelo on my cards.
Do you know who I think actually beat Lara? I think Marta Rojan beat Lara, even with that bullshit point deduction that shouldn't have happened. I think he actually beat Lara, because Lara didn't even throw enough punches in that.
Wait,
so I don't rate Lara that highly at all.
He
lost to Canelo. He lost to Canelo, man.
But hold on, are you talking about the first fight or the second fight against
the second fight? The second fight.
Oh, okay.
I think Lara is the best at 154 right now.
I strongly disagree with you. Strongly disagree.
Charlo?
Yes.
The other Charlo?
Yeah, the other one.
I get confused with Jermel and Jermel.
Bro, nobody...
Which was the one going to middleweight?
Jermel, and nobody can keep this straight. Look, my whole thing is, if you're going to be twins, make your names at least.
I mean, it's already a hassle. You have like the two people that look alike, and then you name them the same way. I mean, what the fuck?
What matter? Nah, you can't do that shit. You're going to have to.
You really can't.
This is too much.
To be honest, I like Erislandy Lara. He's a smart boxer, which is what I like.
He moves too much, in my opinion. I mean, I can understand when you punch and move, but when you punch and take 2 steps back, it's too much moving around. It's exaggerated, in my opinion. That's why I don't think he won against Canelo. That just shows poor ring generalship, in my opinion.
I agree with you, actually. And that, my other problem with him is that he doesn't throw enough punches anyway. My whole thing is, if you're going to be that evasive and the other guy like lands one of every, let's say, 7 punches, but you only throw 7 punches yourself or whatever, or like, you know what I mean, like it balances out so the other guy actually ends up outlanding you or coming close to it, I'm giving that round to that guy, honestly, because you're not doing enough.
Yeah, I agree. Larry's not bad. He's not that. I mean, when people start saying that Triple G is avoiding Lara, I'm like, are you fucking insane? Like, why would he be avoiding Lara?
Exactly.
Lara
is the guy that Golovkin matches up with the best. Like, that style is not how you beat Golovkin. He murders guys
Monroe
like
Jr.
That.
Monroe Jr. Willie Monroe Jr. is almost at the same level as Lara. I'm not even kidding, man.
Right. No, he is.
Monroe Jr. is a pretty good boxer. He just looks like shit against Golovkin. Well, yeah, because Golovkin knocked him out. But you see him against Jesus Christ.
Rosado, you mean?
I'm drinking beer. Yeah, Rosado here. Yeah, Rosado. He did an amazing job. I know Rosado is definitely not an elite level.
Yeah, he's not elite level, but he's actually not like that. He's a benchmark, is how I see Rosado. Like,
he's a benchmark, and he did pretty good. He was twisting him around, turning and moving and punching. And like, he did an amazing job, Willie Monroe Jr. He's a really good boxer, but
yeah, Rosado is a guy that he's not going to like stop you or anything like that, or just like completely dominate you. But depending how you look against him, is how I see you. He's like a test for a boxer, you know.
Well, he's a gatekeeper.
Yeah. Like,
he's a classic gatekeeper.
Stepping stone.
Like, let's take. Yeah. Like, let's take Peter Quillen versus Gabriel Rosado, and then let's take David Lemieux versus Gabriel Rosado. Quillen was actually getting outboxed by Rosado at some point. Once Rosado stopped being afraid of his power, Quillen was getting outboxed by him. Lemieux fucked him up every second of the fight. So from that, I had to say, oh, you know what? I think Lemieux is actually a better boxer than Quillen. Nobody seems to want to talk about that, but that's what those fights told me.
Hey,
I don't
bro,
rate
you know
Quillen that highly.
You know Amir Khan and his wife, they split up, didn't they?
I believe so, yes.
You see what his wife
okay. How do you guys think she looks? I saw her for the first time a couple of days ago. How do y'all think she looks?
Who are you talking about?
Amir Khan's wife.
Without makeup, she looks fucking weird, though.
She looks like a fucking alien. She fucked her face all over surgery.
It's weird. I mean...
Hey, bro, you know what she just posted on Snapchat?
Yeah.
What? Nudes?
That she's pregnant with a second child. What? I reckon it's AJ's.
Is he black?
No, she said...
Imagine.
She said that.
How the fuck they gonna know if the baby's black?
They're gonna know.
Nah, I mean, like, at the time you said.
Oh yeah, no, they no.
Molly, could you bring that flashlight over here? I want to see how big it is.
Bro, wife.
I don't think there was anything between Joshua and Khan's wife. No.
Fuck like, you fucking whore.
Yeah, I think Khan's just losing it though.
Mm-hmm. But of course, AJ is going to deny it. He would never admit that. That would be career suicide.
Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. If you were Anthony Joshua, you were like rich, one of the most famous people in the fucking UK, like one of the top elite boxers, would you fuck Amir Khan's wife? Because let's be real, she's not really attractive. She looks like an alien. Would you fuck her? I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. But let's okay. But you put yourself in Anthony Joshua's position. He's like maybe it's like a position of power, like where he wants to like just prove. Like, be that guy who can steal your wife kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people are fucked up, man.
Yeah, Amir Khan, though, but, like, it's a fucking Amir Khan. I don't give a fuck about that guy. I wouldn't even think about doing that shit either, nah.
I don't think he did it. I don't think he did it
either. If we were talking about, like, if she was Deontay Wilder's wife, then I'd say, yeah, he probably did that shit just to, like, fuck you. The same division, there's, like, I would do that shit then.
Sell the fight?
Yeah, but, like, for Khan, nah, I'm a pass on that.
Respect the cock.
Okay, what are we talking about this shit anyways?
Hey, you know who Michelle Joy Phelps is?
Yeah.
Bro, the comment section to her videos are so funny.
I know, that's what I look at, the comment section. Fuck, man.
Oh, no, what? Oh, my God.
They're all thirsty, man.
Yeah, there's one guy that said... There's one guy that said he would drag his balls through 50 miles of broken glass just to smell... just to smell... just to hear one of them fart through a radio.
That's amazing. That's very creative. I'm gonna steal that one. I'm gonna steal that one.
Yeah, there's another woman there, reporter. I forget her name. She's half Filipino, half American or something. One of those
Marika whatever the fuck her name is. Marika some shit.
Yeah, something.
Maybe you can put a pic on the drag it and drop it on the thing.
I'm afraid that if I do that, I'm gonna break the time-space barrier and I'm gonna fuck up everything. I best to leave it like
you talk about the woman with like the huge titties, right?
Oh yeah. She's part of the Boxing Guys podcast or something like that. The Boxing Guys.
I did not know that.
But anyway, man, I went to the comments section. I didn't even, because I was looking for clips of somebody interviewing Golovkin, and I found her. And as soon as I saw her tits, I put pause on the video after 10 seconds, and I just went to the comment section, and I was howling, man. These people, this guy, YouTube has one of the most creative fucking, I mean, any comment section now on the internet has very creative comments, man, and these people.
Yo. What's amazing about the YouTube community, I know it's like a large branch of people, so you have a lot of different personalities and shit, but like, in general, they're stupid, but at the same time, they're very creatively funny. I don't see how that like coincides. That shouldn't be a thing. How are you dumb but this creative?
It's a fucking good question, man. It's a very good question. When I walk in the street, I don't see that many funny people, but then you go on the internet, there's thousands. You go, where do these people come from?
No, they're all like recluse and insular kids. Who don't have confidence in real life, so they do that shit on the internet.
But they're dumb. How are they smart enough to be like this creatively funny and stupid at the same time?
Exactly.
I don't understand.
Is it autism? No, being serious.
Oh my god.
I'm not
you
joking.
might be right.
I mean, I don't know. It's a phenomenon. Maybe there's got to be a correlation between. Because, like, okay, first of all, when you say they're stupid, you're talking about, let's take boxing, for example. Because, you know, there's a lot of people out there that they don't really know what, like Roger Mayweather said a long time ago, most people don't know shit about boxing. They don't, are you talking about that, or are you talking about the way they speak, or the way, I mean, break it down.
I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the way they speak. I'm talking about how they probably don't know what 2 + 7 equals.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, then there's a... It's interesting, now that you mentioned, these people, they don't have that type of intelligence, but at the same time, they're funny.
Yo,
so
check the YouTube chat, and I'm gonna post some comments from her
Go ahead.
YouTube video.
Okay.
They're just the most retarded shit you'll ever read. Like that.
She wants... Oh, you want me to read it out?
Go ahead.
All right. She wants the Joshua Tree Brown snake up her... Okay, She wants the Joshua Tree Brown snake up her father big style. It always comes down to the female reporter wanting to fuck the boxer. Doesn't matter who it is.
No, but that Filipino one with the tits sticking out, like, it's too much, man. Like, I mean, I'm not complaining, but like, it's obvious what she's doing, right? Like.
Okay, there's another one. She's begging for his big black cock. If I was Anthony, I would have tore that pussy apart by now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would have. Oh man. Yeah. Those are one of the best things about being a boxing fan is that the female reporters on YouTube. You got any more? She wants him to pound her. She wants him to pound at her door. But you know what? There must be a certain reality to those comments, because with these women, they're interviewing young guys who are in shape, who can fight. It wouldn't surprise me if a lot of these reporters might, go backstage or something, and get on their knees.
What are they, fucking rock stars, man?
Like this.
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
Okay, those tits are begging to be licked and sucked and touched.
Alright, enough about this shit, man.
We know.
This is never gonna end.
Okay, one last one. This is Hassan S. is posting this, by the way. We know she flashed those titties only for the man Anthony Joshua. We also know they fucked in his suite after the fight. I think it's becoming a routine for AJ now. That lucky bastard. Oh man. Of course, we need. I have to paraphrase this by I have to say that this is all alleged, right? These are just comments.
Isn't Eddie Hearn fucking Michelle Joy Phelps?
I doubt it. I think Anthony Joshua is though.
Anthony Joshua's fucking everyone, fuck.
Bro, the comment sections are just the best thing about her videos. I only tune in just to watch the comments. Just to
Yeah, me too.
No, but yeah,
They're
King
fine,
Butcher,
fine.
you're right. I mean, what is this fucking guy? If Anthony Joshua, it seems from the comment sections, it seems like he's fucking everybody, right? Even guys. He's fucking everybody.
Hey, listen.
I want to fuck you up the ass. I want to fuck you up the ass.
Go ahead.
I'm happy to see my man Lomachenko next to some big titties.
Come on. That's reversely posting that one. So girls, if there's any girls listening out there, you know what if you want success in life, you know what you gotta do. Join the niche market, which is boxing, have some big ass titties, and just interview guys. That's all you gotta do, really.
That's all you gotta do.
Anything goes here.
But listen, AJ could smash anyone who he wanted because, I mean, he's the heavyweight champion of the world. No one's gonna say shit to him.
At the same time, though, Anthony Joshua's like, he's no homo. He's like a very big guy, just like his frame. He might break somebody in half. I imagine some people will be afraid of that shit.
Hey, listen, I'm not. They know homo, but he's a good-looking guy as well. Like, he's not ugly.
Homo.
He's got a huge cock?
No, yeah, like I said, he has the looks of a champion, man. Like, he's undefeated, he's young, he's a heavyweight.
Mm-hmm.
He has a big win against Klitschko in Wembley Stadium. Like, this guy is reaching the stars, man. Like, he's already there, man.
Yep.
I don't see anyone that can beat him anytime soon.
Oh,
actually,
listen.
I disagree with you there.
Who?
Are you a faggot?
I would say...
Are you a faggot? Are you a faggot? Are you a faggot?
These fights probably won't happen, but I think Povetkin could actually beat him. I think Ortiz has a shot at beating him. I wouldn't favor him, but it's a chance.
Ortiz looked like shit in his last fight.
He did, but that's also like the style. That other guy wasn't a guy that, like, the way he was boxing is not that easy.
Okay. Who else is on your list there?
Let's see. Heavyweight division.
That can beat Joshua.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone. Right now.
Just those two. Honestly, just those two right now.
Joshua gasses. That's how he loses steam.
Maybe Tyson Fury if he can get back in shape.
That's what I keep saying. I kept saying all the time, but I don't know, man. I look at all these videos from Tyson Fury on Twitter and shit like that. He's like, he sounds like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm running now. Okay. I'm trying to lose some weight, and then like nothing. I don't see him losing any fucking weight.
Yeah, I think Tyson Fury is done. I think if he does come back, he's gonna look like shit. Man. I don't have faith in that.
Damn, are you sure, man? I'm still hoping, man, but I'm like, every time I see a video of his, I'm like, damn, that hope dies a little, man. So if he looks like crap.
I don't know if you've seen the interview with him and Michelle Joy Phelps, but he makes Michelle feel so uncomfortable. He's a joker.
Why?
Bro, watch it. Just watch it.
Oh, man. He's a weirdo or something?
No, he's just a joker.
Okay.
He's a fucking comedian.
What does your cunt taste like?
What were we talking about? Michelle Joey Phelps and...
Speak English, you
that the Filipino guy, the Filipino girl, you haven't seen her with the fucking cleavage and boobs sticking out?
I'll search her right now.
I forgot.
I forgot already too.
BDA.
It's Cynthia Conte.
I'm on it.
You should drop a pic and we can see her. Show it to the audience.
Damn, boy. But she looks a little old. She looks like a MILF.
You see the right one now?
She looks like she's about 35.
But we're gonna start seeing more of those, reporters like Michelle Joy Phelps and that Filipina girl or woman.
Yeah, of
Cynthia Conte. Somebody wrote there. It's there. Cynthia Conte. I'm gonna fucking Google that shit.
If you were a boxer, would you rather talk to some fat, fucking hairy interviewer or some?
Well, no. You want to talk about? Let's talk about boxers' wives. Like, if you look at Tim Bradley's wife,
as the best wife out of everybody, Salido's a winner.
Yeah, I think I don't remember her specifically, but yeah, I kind of remember She looks like. But I mean, you look at Bradley's wife, Timothy Bradley's wife. I mean, you really can't get any better than that. Like, I mean, God.
Nah, it's not that. Bradley's a family man. I think he actually just legitimately loves that woman. And also, you have to understand, she was with him from the beginning before he was even like a famous boxer. So that shit matters a whole lot when you like end up.
Yeah, there's like that whole background, right?
Yeah. Because like, think about it. If you're a guy that's like just now rich, would you rather be with somebody that has been there with you when you didn't have anything, or be there with like some new woman that might just fuck you for your money?
Yeah, like a gold digger, yeah. You know, somebody wrote like Carl Froch's wife or fiance or whatever. I don't know if they're married now, but yeah.
I've never actually seen her. Let me see.
What? She was always in the ring and shit.
Hey, what about Bradley's wife?
That's what we're talking about. Like,
she's a whale.
King Bucho, how do I put a picture in here for everybody to see?
Using OBS, you just like you drag and drop the picture on top of the. You're using OBS, right? Just drag and drop it.
Oh, just drag and drop it.
Yeah.
Have you seen Miguel Cotto's wife? She looks like a dad.
Yeah, she looks kind of weird. Too many operations, man.
Yeah.
He has like that Michael Jackson nose shit going, you know. So.
She looks like a doll.
Like a dog.
My goodness gracious.
No, like a doll, like a fucking.
Oh, okay, a doll. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I heard
she
a
does.
dog.
She looks too fake, man. Well,
This guy said Cotto's wife.
So yeah, I got a picture. Of
what?
The guy said.
Oh wait.
It's bigger than my.
That's the Filipino. Oh, you could have gotten a better picture though.
Yeah, it doesn't really do her juicy titties justice, but I mean, you kind of get the picture, right?
Yeah, bro. Have you seen Mel Brooks?
I didn't even know Brooke was married.
Oh, how about fucking James DeGille's sister?
Sister, dog. His
Yeah.
sister.
Wait. What's the whole story about who? Her sister. I guess Badu Jack. Something happened.
No, when Mayweather came on to Badu Jack.
Mayweather. Yeah. Mayweather was.
I would have shot my shot too. I would have tried with that shit. Fuck.
Find the picture.
Oh, hey, okay. I'll find the picture.
With what's that all about with Badu Jack?
Her sister. Okay, do you remember what DeGille's sister looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, she's hot, right? And then Mayweather apparently was flirting with her.
Well, apparently what happened was that there was an interview with Mayweather who was on Badu Jack's side, right? And he said they asked him about DeGille, and he says, "Well, I like DeGille, but I like his sister better." And they started laughing, and I think that's what started the whole thing.
Everybody.
Trying to look for a good picture here. You know, the problem with a lot of these girls is that they with these Instagram girls is they put filters on their fucking photos, so you can't get a good sense of
what they actually look like.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, like Amir Khan's wife. Sometimes she looks good, and then you see her pictures, like, and you go like, "What the fuck?"
She looks kind of like
weird.
She looks like an alien.
Yeah,
I will stand by that. She scares me.
My goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Alright, I got a photo of DeGille's sister incoming. It's the best I could find, I don't know. But...
Drop it in.
Oh, I'm dropping it. Dropping it and beating it at the same time.
Pac's wife, man.
So there you go, that's DeGille's
but
sister.
at least she looks real, you know? She doesn't look like all fake and shit like Cotto's wife. And
she looks like she comes from good stock. There's nothing worse than a woman of lower stock. You know what I mean?
When you say that, it makes me think of like a farmer saying that about one of his cows or some shit.
That's exactly the intent.
Yes.
This is primo shit.
That's the good stuff. There you go. So yeah, that's those are the white boxing good-looking women in boxing. Fuck, wasn't there? Okay, what's her name of the female boxer? Mia St. John.
Mia St. John.
Well, back in the days, I guess, no?
Yeah, that was. I'm talking late 90s, early 2000s.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh no, wait, hold on. Mia St. Yeah. Oh,
Now she's like fucking 50 or something, no?
You know what? Age is just a number, especially if you got nice tits.
Hey, bro, what about Canelo's mom?
What the fuck? Oh my god.
This conversation is getting out of control.
Hassan, are you? I mean, I picture you in a dark room somewhere, man. Just coming up with all this fucking. How about Bob Arum's wife?
I'll link you.
How about Bob Arum, by the way, while we're at it?
Should we talk about McGregor Mayweather?
No, I'm looking for a photo of Mia St. John.
Jesus, this is the name of the live stream. It says Mayweather-McGregor live stream open panel discussion.
We'll move on to
McGregor.
Isn't it fitting that we're talking about just random bullshit when there's like a farce of a fight? So we're just like not going to talk about that because that fight's a side social. Our comments are also bad.
That's how shitty this fight is, man. We don't give a fuck about it.
Exactly.
Can you think? I mean, can you imagine? Like we don't give a shit about this fight because we're boxing fans, right? But understand that there's people out there right now that are like completely excited about like the McGregor Mayweather fight. They're like, oh my god, I can't wait. What's gonna happen? Oh my god, and they're freaking out. I mean, that's pretty sad, man.
It's a business. Come
on.
Oh my, who is this woman?
That is.
She used to fight in the De La Hoya undercards in the late 90s, early. Yeah.
Now,
right before Butterbean, I think.
Keep in mind, she doesn't look that way anymore.
Hey, what's up with Jeff Horn's voice, though?
Oh.
He hasn't hit puberty yet. Leaving the man alone.
Oh,
yeah. That's
actually sounds proud.
Yeah, go ahead, Hassan. Go ahead.
I'm done. I've got nothing to say, fam.
Yeah, I don't understand what it is with Jeff. I mean, these athletes that go out with... I mean, listen, I don't want to denigrate anybody.
Well, Victor came up with a theory.
What's that?
Well, Victor was talking about Bradley's wife, and he's like, well, I think they met before Bradley became famous and popular, right? So it's like a real relationship, right?
Yeah.
It's not a gold digger. She's not a gold digger and shit like that. So maybe it's the same with Jeff Horn. Although now that Jeff Horn won, maybe you're gonna see a different wife in the next time around.
Yeah. Hey, what about,
you're gonna see Bradley's wife with Jeff Horn now. Now that Bradley had lost his job and everything.
What about what's his name? Paulie Malignaggi and Adrian Broner when he took his bitch.
And did you ever see pictures of her? I always want.
I got fucking blood hopping on my screen.
Alright, I'm not gonna look at the YouTube thing anymore. I'm just gonna tab out and.
No one wants to see that shit.
Penis! Penis! Big fucking erect penis, Mom! Penis! Penis!
Alright, this is getting out of hand, man.
I think we're just getting started.
Can you take the fucking picture off?
We never
looking straight at me, man. This is looking straight at me, fuck.
We never actually answered the question to who would you like to see get a title shot against the winner of Canelo and Golovkin, assuming that there is no rematch.
Okay, assuming there's no rematch. After what I've saw of Deveryachenko there, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, that fight would be interesting. Oh, that Charlo, definitely. A lot of people have been, they're backing up Charlo. Charlo is some fucking monster where he couldn't even take out that one-legged Argentinian guy in his last fight. Anyways, all this talk about Charlo, so let's make it happen. Let's see Charlo against the winner of Canelo and Golovkin.
Hey, here's the thing. I don't think that will happen because Charlo isn't a big enough name, and after that fight...
Sorry, man, but like, you gotta take that fucking... Fuck
you, man. Bro, can you please take that shit off?
Take that shit off, man.
As I was saying, if Triple G wins, he's gonna look for a big money fight to cash out. If Canelo wins, I don't know.
I don't think he's actually going to be looking for a big money fight to cash out. I mean, I think he wants all the belts.
Oh yeah, man, how stupid am I? I forgot about Billy Joe. I want to see that fucking fight. Yeah, no, the winner has to fight Billy Joe just because of the unification thing.
Yo, isn't it crazy that we might actually see 3 undisputed champions by like 2018? Because Crawford is like the first one. We got the idea of 175 being undisputed at some point. The cruiserweight tournament might see somebody undisputed eventually. Sure. What else we got? Yep, got that one.
Wait. At the end of the super middleweight World Boxing Series tournament, would there be would all the belts be unified?
No, not the super middleweight one.
Oh no, because you're right, because the WBO champion is Ramirez, no?
Correct, and I think there's like a vacant belt somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. No, yeah. Okay. But anyways, yeah, you're right. Well, Crawford is gonna let the belts go anyways. Like he's gonna drop them soon. So.
Yeah, he is. That's what I mean. Like we're gonna see it by 2018. So Crawford. Yeah.
See, I don't like this. To me, you get 3 belts, you're the unified champion. I don't give a shit about. It's impossible to get all the 4 belts now. It's like
pretty much.
Come on, then you have to defend each one. Come on, it's.
There's too much politics behind it all for it to happen now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but just a simple fact that you get the 4 belts. Yeah, first you gotta get beyond the politics to be able to acquire the 4 belts. Then even if you get the 4 belts, you have to defend them, and it's impossible because you have to fight a mandatory every time, and the IBF doesn't give you any exemptions now. It's like a fucking mess. Well,
another thing that bothers me is like when they have different rules in these sanctioning bodies, like the IBS rehydration shit, that kind of fucks you over in unification fights.
Yeah, it does.
Well, yeah. But they took it off, no?
They took it off for unification fights, but
unification fights, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to stand by that. I wouldn't be surprised if they just recant that and keep it anyway, you know?
But do you think it's a good idea? I mean, the concept is good, in your opinion? The 10 pounds.
I like it because I don't really like weight bullies that much, and I think this is just safer at the same time, too.
Honestly, I want Adonis Stevenson to. If Andre Ward Adonis Stevenson happens, I want Adonis Stevenson to win and unify.
That fight, as far as like who I want to win, I don't know, because I fucking hate Ward, but Adonis Stevenson he was a pimp and was a rapist too. So I'm like, do I vote for the rapist or do I vote for the guy that
he was a rapist?
I can say shit about Stevenson because he's gonna find me, and
he was a human trafficker as well.
Holy no! Okay, yeah. I knew about the pimping, but I didn't know about the rape. I mean, was he convicted of that or?
No, like when you're pimping somebody, like they also admitted that he was convicted of that shit too. It came out in the trial that he raped them as well.
Well, I mean, listen, if you're gonna be a pimp, you might as well, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean though. Like that's.
So that's a fight, but it's a fight that has to happen, though.
It is, and I think Ward would win, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think. First of all, how old is Stevenson now? 40?
I was actually just about to talk about that. He's like 36, 37. I find it funny that everybody keeps talking about Golovkin's age, like he's the fucking oldest guy in boxing. Like Ward is what, 1 year younger than him? Kovalev's same 1 year younger than him. Stevenson's older than he is. Nobody mentions that ever.
Yep.
No, you're right, man. You're right. But here's the thing, though. Since we're talking about titles, do you guys are you the type of guys that put emphasis on linear titles, on the lineage of?
I don't.
No.
Who's a lineage? I mean, that's up to fucking. The fans to decide and shit. The Ring Magazine belt, I mean, that has been gone to. I don't even trust that shit anymore.
It isn't. If you go by like lineal standard, like what the title actually is supposed to mean, like the way they did it, it should be Golovkin for middleweight, and that's the only one I remember. Well, Joshua for heavyweight, and that's also Crawford for junior welterweight. But the other ones I don't even know about. It's too hard to keep track of.
Is Canelo still the Ring Magazine middleweight champion?
He is, which is bullshit in itself. Because I mean, I don't dislike Canelo, but he fucking left the division. You can't just have him be the champion for a division that he left.
No, I agree. But I'm gonna. So will Canelo be introduced as the lineal middleweight champion?
Very sure he will be, although he should not.
That's gonna be so confusing for everybody, for people, for casuals.
Yeah, they're gonna have no idea what's happening there.
One guy has 3 belts, but the other one has a lineal champ. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and then Canelo's coming out like as the champion too, which is hilarious in itself.
I just think that
he's coming in first and he's getting introduced last. I can guarantee you that.
Don't you think that there's just too many belts? It shouldn't be that fucking.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Since when is the WBO? When did the WBO become a major title?
I don't know. I've never heard of them since like
the WBO. Because I remember the WBO wasn't even considered a major title in the late '90s. It was the WBC, IBF, WBA. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The WBO was like a minor belt. All of a sudden now the WBO it became a major title. It's
it had to have been because somebody like held it and brought legitimacy to it, right? Like that's the only thing that makes sense. But it had to be multiple people at the same time.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think it's because the other sanctioning bodies acknowledged the WBO. Once they acknowledged the WBO as a major title, then it became, I guess, a major. Like they invited them, they allowed them to be part of the club. Let's say.
So you know what that means, boys. Eventually, we're going to see the IBO as a major title. Give it 2 years.
I say that, man. I was just going to say the IBOs.
Was it the IBC, IBA?
No, the IBO is the one that they started. The IBO, they started pushing it a couple of years ago because supposedly they had this computerized ranking system that was above and beyond anything that had ever been seen. And where are they now? But yeah, Victor's right. They tried pushing the IBO, man. And in a couple of years, somebody else is going to try it.
I mean, if you go to boxingscene.com, they have they have ads there.
Yeah.
They have an ad for the IBO, and then I remember in boxing magazines you would see ads for the IBO and stuff like that. Like they would show Klitschko with the IBO belt and other boxers trying to promote their belt as legitimate. Yeah. But yeah, they're different than the other organizations in the sense that they use like BDA said, like a computerized system for rankings, which might be a good thing, to be honest. Because
it's not. I'll tell you why it's not. I'll tell you exactly why it's not. BoxRec does the same exact thing. Maybe they use a different formula, but it's the same concept, and their ranking is the worst ranking system I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think the IBO ranking. Yeah.
In fact, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, you're
right
right.
now.
They use computer. Okay, but then you have people playing around with the rankings and they become all crappy. Remember, at some point, Amir Khan hadn't even fought at welterweight yet, and he ended up being the #1 contender for the WBC.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like the Suleiman, it was Mauricio Suleiman at the time, I think. No, not Mauricio. Jose Suleiman. He comes out and he says like, "Oh, there was a glitch in the system or something," and Amir Khan ended up being the #1 contender at welterweight. Like it's some weird crap. Like, man, it's so corrupt, man. See, boxing, I think, is the most corrupt sport in the whole fucking world.
It is.
Nothing beats it. Nothing beats it. Name me a sport that's as corrupt as boxing. At least the UFC, they have like, I mean, it's a monopoly, so but there's some control and shit. Boxing is completely, it's the Wild West in boxing.
Yep.
Hey guys.
No rules, no.
What? Am I looking at this correctly? I'm looking at BoxRec's pound for pound list. They have Saul.
Oh, don't.
They have Saul Alvarez at #1. They have Saul Alvarez #1 pound for pound.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Okay. Based on what?
Based on what? That is a great question.
No, seriously, what?
Oh, come on, man. What kind of fairy dust you've been snorting?
What is this? Okay, does anybody know how their system works?
Dude, they have like some bullshit point system. Okay, so what they do is each fighter has like their star ranking basically. You know how like you'll see like stars beside somebody's name and shit like that? It's not just those stars. There's like points associated with it. And if you beat somebody that has like that many stars or whatever, it gets added to your total and shit, and then it keeps going up. So when Canelo fought Lara, Cotto, I think that was just it, and plus Khan too. They added like their points, and it put Canelo above like everyone because of those 3 names. But it's bullshit since Amir Khan was a fucking welterweight fighting at 154, but whatever. And Laura closely contested fight, and then Cotto, who's like that shouldn't get you pound for pound #1, but BoxRec will have it that way because they're fucked up system, which is also why these computer systems don't work in like subjective sports like this. Computers do not understand nuance.
Hey bro, look at this. You know, BoxRec pound for pound, they have Jeff Horn.
Yeah, of course.
Jeff Horn above Thurman, Santa Cruz, above Manny Pacquiao, above Carl Frampton, above Danny. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yep. No, it's because their point system. That's exactly what is supposed to happen because of that fucking algorithm.
But surely they know that they're wrong, right?
I'm sure they do, but like to do that, they would have to like go back and change some things. But then doing that would actually fuck up the algorithm more because like you're switching things around yourself. So it would fuck the entire ranking up if they did that. So they kind of have to stick by it, tweak it a little bit sometimes, like fix the algorithm a bit. But even that is a bit difficult. So their rating system is bullshit. It's also the same problem the IBO ranking would have if they did the exact same thing. Like you can't fix this sort of thing.
Yeah, you're right, man. This is some sci-fi shit, man. Like you have to go, you have to actually go into the system and talk with the architect.
But do you know what's extra funny about these ranking systems like this?
What's that?
Like it's all arbitrary if you really think about it, because like computers don't understand points to begin with. Like you're yourself making these points, you're setting the parameters for this shit, right?
Right.
Because you're making it. You are actually creating the list yourself, and then it like goes by the logic that you use. But because it's going by like your ranking system based like your points, it's already not a computer basically doing that shit because it's your own like point system shit. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, repeat that.
I'm fucking up the way I'm trying to explain this, but like, all right, let's say I say fighter A is ranked like 7 or whatever, and then fighter B is ranked 8. Now that's like what I picked, and the computer has to go by that and then like go down like a long some shit like that. But the only way these numbers exist is because I chose fighter A to be ranked 8 and like that type of shit.
Right.
That's how all these computers have to work, though. They have to work that way because the computer can't make its own shit. It has to go by that. So anytime you make a computerized list like this, you're adding your own arbitrary ranking system to that to begin with.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's not independent of, you know, it's not self-automated, this thing. Or maybe they can find a way to that it's self-automated afterwards, but even then, like you said, from the start, it all starts from a subjective point of view here.
Yep.
Hey guys, we got 5 hours till the fight. 5 hours left till the fight of the century.
The fight of the century. Did you say fight or farce?
Farce.
Whatever you want. It doesn't change the fact that McGregor's getting knocked the fuck out.
I think it's going to be a boring, terrible fight. I think this goes one of two ways. It's either going to be like a boring, terrible fight, or it's going to look like Gotti versus Mayweather. I hope it's the latter, but I don't see that happening, honestly.
Wait. You don't see Mayweather beating the shit out of McGregor? Is that what you said?
I think it's going to be boring, and I think it's going to beat the shit out of him, but I think it's going to be like in a defensive way, like where McGregor can't do anything. It's going to be like Mayweather's going to be laying like these little pot shots, but it's not going to do much of anything, really. 5
hours to a main event. When does the undercard start?
I heard it starts at 7, but I don't know. Okay. Which is 7 now, so I think I'll check for you.
Yeah, you're talking about the free portion of the undercard, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's 12 o'clock for me right now, so...
Oh yeah, it's already midnight over there, you're right. In England.
So what time is it for me?
The main card starts at 9. So 2 hours from now is when the main card starts.
So Hassan, probably you'll be watching the main event at what, 4 a.m., 5 a.m.?
Yeah. But I want to interview tomorrow, so it's alright.
You know, that's probably why this shit is only like $35 for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good fucking point right there.
Oh, it's true. It's fucking late over there. That's why nobody's gonna pay for. Okay.
Yeah, who's staying up for that shit?
I'm paying for that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, but I didn't even get the predictions. Your predictions for the Cotto Kamegai fight. Come on, guys.
Oh yeah, the actual fight. That's a good one. I'm picking Cotto because I think he's the better boxer than Kamegai, honestly. But I think it's going to be a pretty damaging fight for Cotto. I think he's going to just walk through Kamegai. I think it's going to outpoint him. I think it's going to be like a... Okay, you remember how Mira versus Berchelt was, where like it was kind of like a shutout, but Berchelt like really had to work for that shit. It was actually kind of like difficult for him.
Right.
That's how I see this one going. I think it's going to be like a clear, no way Cotto lost, like 9-3 at worst for Cotto, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be damaging. He's going to have to work for it.
You know what? That sounds like a very, very plausible thing, though, because Kamegai does hit hard. Hassan, go ahead.
But the thing is, Kamegai, you can't ever rule out Japanese boxers. Have you seen how tough they are? The chin, especially.
That's amazing. What would you guys say is like a Japanese style of boxing, by the way? Because I feel like every country has like something where you can like describe their style. How would you describe Japanese style? Do they even have one?
Tough.
It's either or. It's either or. You don't have a lot of boxer punchers. Yeah, I mean, there are exceptions, but it's usually either all-out sluggers or boxers who can't punch. That's usually the two styles you have. Every once in a while, you have a guy like Uchiyama who can box and punch. But for the most part, these guys, and remember, it's Japanese culture too, that it doesn't matter really if you win or lose as long as you give it your all. And these people will clap for you. So yeah, that's, how would I describe this style? Kamikaze, man.
These Japanese boxers, I don't understand how they're so tough. Like, how can they just take full-on slugs and they just give it right back? And they don't even get phased by it.
Well, they got hit with 2 atomic bombs, man. Come on. That's gotta make you tough, right? It's in their culture, man. It's in their culture.
Boxing is?
Was that?
English. How would you describe the English style of boxing?
Victor, you want to take that one?
Let me think about that.
What's the our style?
See, the thing is, when I think about the British boxers, I pick guys that are like really awkward, like Calzaghe and Asim, and that's not the norm for them. So I'm trying to like just think about your standard ones.
Just think like Chris Eubank, Nigel.
You have like something that I want to call like British slickness. It's not the same thing as like, I don't know, like American slickness, but how do I put this into words? Whatever. I can't do this. I can't take this one.
Okay,
But you know, for America, I don't think America has a style of fighting because it's so diverse. There's just so many different styles. There's like Terence Crawford. There's Floyd Mayweather. There's fucking Robert fucking Guerrero, who no one cares about him, but still.
Yeah, different styles. No, you're right. In England, I'll tell you what. In England in the 90s, there was the standard British boxer that was, you know, a stand-up type guy with his chin a little bit in the air, a standard posture with his gloves up, you know, high guard. You didn't really see that many slick fighters, although you did have guys like Chris Eubank, who was slick in his own right, and Prince Nassim Hamed. But for the most part, there were stand-up boxer punchers, or not even punchers. They didn't really have that much punching power, a lot of them. Now you're seeing, like you said, you're seeing a lot more diversity in British boxing. For example, a guy like Carl Froch, you can't tell me that guy used to be orthodox. I mean, that was his own different style, man. Hands down, still hard to hit every once in a while. He had punching power, even though he didn't really put everything into his shots. I mean, that was a weird style. And the whole Bernard Ingle school of guys, or Paul Ingle, I should say, is Nassim Hamed, Johnny Nelson, Junior Witter. Nowadays, you're seeing a lot more diversity in British boxing, or in the UK as a whole. But before that, pretty much standard boxer punchers. A lot like the Germans. Germans are a lot like that too.
I like Cubans and Mexicans, because Cubans are smart boxers. They're not big punchers, to be honest, but they're like, what's the word? Hit and not get hit. That's what they are.
Right.
And Mexicans, they're just all out war. It's in like their nature. It's in their blood to fight.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's why I'm interested. Why there's not a lot more boxers from New Zealand? Because New Zealand too, they have that Maori warrior culture. It seems to be like
I assume that the thing for like New Zealand, or just like a lot of other countries, that they don't have like this big amateur program anyway, and that's generally how you like get into boxing. And it's like the amateur program, and then you like go into the pros and shit like that. Since they don't have that, they don't have like a good outlet to like hone their skills and become like world level talent, you know?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amateur system really definitely plays a part in the development of boxers. You know that, like they said, the Germans, they have that stand up, and that's the other thing about Europeans. They look at boxing as a sport, so for them quitting, it doesn't have the same stigma that it has here. Here you quit, or in Mexico, in the United States, you quit, you're a fucking pussy.
Yeah.
But you know, Mexicans, they're some of the best boxers in the world. They don't have an amateur system though, so I think they're the exception. Africans too. Certain African countries, they don't have a amateur system or a solid one, but nevertheless they keep producing solid fighters, man. I think it also has to do with for example, Mexico, Africa. These guys, they fight for a living. There's no time to go into the amateur system because, you know, that takes time and money too from your own, you know, an investment from the boxer themselves financially. You know, if you have to eat and all the money comes from boxing, you're gonna be fighting 5 times, 10 times a year. You know, last minute you get a phone call, okay, I'm gonna go fight, and that's how they toughen up. If you make it out of there with a winning record, that means you're pretty good.
What do you think of Cuban boxers?
Cuban boxers are fucking slick, or they can. I mean, like, again, there's no such thing as an absolute style because you have had punches from Cuba. But for the most part, yeah, like you said, they teach them that hit and don't get hit style. You know, very reminiscent from the amateur system of fencing type style, where you in and out. Doesn't really matter whether you entertain. The most important thing is winning. But it's interesting because in the 50s, and like prior to the Cuban Revolution, you had a lot of boxers from Cuba, and they were entertaining. But go ahead.
But now Cubans aren't even allowed to leave the country, so. Imagine, we've seen a few that have left the country and they're pretty good. Luis Ortiz, Erislandy Lara, Rigondeaux, they're just 3 people and they've left the country. Imagine if like loads of Cuban boxers just started flooding into the US. You reckon they take over or what? Because what we've seen from a few of them, they're pretty good.
Oh yeah. It'd be almost a bit like the Eastern European wave that we've had these past couple of years, especially after Golovkin and Kovalev arrived on the scene. Now you have, you know, maybe one day we're gonna see that a lot of Cubans start flooding in.
Yeah, but they're not even allowed to leave the country right now, so I don't think it'll happen anytime soon.
Well, wasn't there like the relations between the United States and Cuba? I think they relaxed a little bit, right? But they're still not allowed to leave the country, though.
I think so. Let me just search that just to make sure.
Yeah, well, if they can't leave, they can't leave. But although after Rigondeaux and Lara have had success, maybe a lot of other guys are going to start seeing that and say, hey, maybe we should defect.
Cubans need permission to leave their island.
Yeah, okay, fuck.
If they stay away for too long, they can't come back.
Shame.
Yeah, then that makes things a lot more difficult. Now, I'll tell you what, because we're talking about Mexico, USA, Cuba. One of the countries we're missing is Puerto Rico. For a while, you know, they had a lot of good fighters, but nowadays, today,
who actually is the second biggest Puerto Rican star right now? Or third biggest, because now you got Danny Garcia and Miguel Cotto, but like after them, who do we have right now?
But Danny Garcia identifies himself as American.
I mean, yeah, but he's also Puerto Rican. I mean, I count him as Puerto Rican.
Oh, you do? Okay, well, there you go. Yeah,
but I mean, like, besides them.
Okay, and that's even generous, counting Danny Garcia, because I don't.
Yes.
But what's the fuck? I already Verdejo.
Roman Martinez.
Nah, he's.
I thought he was Mexican.
Roman Martinez.
I'm just searching on Google right now.
No, Martinez is Puerto Rican, but I would say Felix Verdejo is the guy that's.
Am I confusing him with somebody?
Juan Manuel Lopez.
No, he's finished. Juan Manuel Lopez and Rocky Martinez are... Well, Martinez is not finished, but he's not a popular fighter.
He's Puerto Rican.
Was that?
Yes.
No, I was still looking at Robert Martinez.
Oh.
So I thought he was Mexican. Huh.
Well,
the more you know.
Look like it. I like to you.
Yeah, so it's probably Rocky Martinez then.
Victor, do you... when you see a guy that's Latino, you just go, oh, he's Mexican?
Okay. I saw him wear like green, white, and blue trunks at or green, white, and red trunks at some point.
Really?
And I figured that was because of the Mexican flag. I think I saw that. I'm like 90% sure it was him.
Okay, whoa, that's maybe he was doing it like Mayweather when he fought De La Hoya. Remember when he put the
yeah,
the
maybe
Mexican...
I may be mixing him up with somebody though, and just like this whole time.
Well, he
that's
did
possible.
He did fight. Fuck, I think it was on the Golovkin Rosado undercard one time. He fought a fuck Burgos. What was his name? Some Mexican. The other guy had the Mexican trunks. Burgos had the Mexican trunks. So maybe you're confusing both of them. I don't know.
That's possible.
But Felix Verdejo. What about him? I mean, wasn't he supposed to be the next Puerto Rican star?
Whatever happened to him, by the way? I feel like I haven't seen that much of him.
He's fought on HBO a couple of times, but from what people are saying, I mean, the popular opinion is that he's not performing as he should. And even I've heard rumors. Well, I mean, Steve Kim has talked about it. How there's rumors that he doesn't even train that hard. He doesn't give it his all. And it's interesting because Puerto Ricans, the Puerto Rican fan base, if you don't train, if you're a lazy guy, they're not gonna warm up to you. I mean, you guys got like, you got guys like Trinidad. He was more popular than Cotto ever will be. Cotto is popular, but even then, from what I hear, some people don't like him because he seems a tad arrogant. But Verdejo, compared to Verdejo, Cotto was a megastar. Verdejo right now, he's lost any traction that he built from the beginning of his career. I don't see him having a high Q rating right now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you checking Verdejo out or what?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Still listening to you and checking him out at the same time.
Right, but he's got solid skills, but I don't... Again, if you want to be a big star, you gotta have a personality, right? And this guy, just I don't see him having it.
Yeah, I mean, there's two ways to do that, though. You don't really have to have a great personality. Like, Golovkin, he's just the average nice guy. He doesn't seem to have a big personality that would draw you in, but he dominates you, and that's where his popularity comes from. So you can definitely get by without being a huge personality. But
yeah, you're absolutely
Verdejo isn't that guy, so...
Bless you.
Hey, one person that we missed is one country that we missed is Thailand, or however you say it.
Yeah, Thailand.
They have a lot of fucking underrated boxers, don't they? Like that guy that beat Chocolatito.
The guy that got the decision versus Chocolatito is how I'm always going to say that shit.
Still, I mean, there's been a wave of decent boxers coming from there.
There's always been, man. They transition from Muay Thai sometimes, or they go from boxing to Muay Thai. I don't know, but Thai guys are tough, man. We were talking about that last week about the guy changed his name a whole bunch of times, but the guy who beat
Wongek.
Was that
Sarung Young Visai, or however you say that, / Wongek / like 5 other things.
Long ass name that I'm not gonna fucking bother to memorize.
I've got a theory on this man. This man is actually wanted by like the government in Thailand, and he had to change his identity quite a few times.
that would make sense, man. That would make sense. Maybe that's why he was willing to eat as many body shots and flush shots to the face. Maybe he didn't care, man, as long as he had his freedom.
Rong Visai.
Yeah. And there was also a couple of years ago, Pong Salek. What was his name? Pong Salek Wonjong Kam, who I believe he used to fight at 112 or 115. And for a while there, he had a long run. I mean, he fought a lot of nobodies too. That's the way it works in Thailand. But every once in a while there, he mixed in a couple of big wins against... who did he beat that... one of the... Kameda. One of the Kameda brothers in Japan who do like 60 million ratings on TV. So yeah, the Thai guys have always had strong fighters, man. But that fucking what's his name? Rungvin Sai Wanzang, whatever, the guy who beat.
Yeah, Wongek is what I'm always going to call him because I can't say that other name.
Exactly, me neither, man. He's got 6 names, for Christ's sakes. But that guy, yeah, man, he's tough. Like, remember we were talking about that last week that he would eat shots to the face and not even flinch. Like, how do you not flinch when you're getting hit flush on the face, man? You think he used to get beat up as a child or something? No, I'm being serious. Like, there's gotta be a certain resistance to pain that develops early on because I don't. He must have experienced some sort of fucking violence when he was a kid. Am I turning into Dr. Phil now? I don't know. We'll see. Next episode.
What are you talking about?
Oh fuck, the guy, Thai guy. What's his name? The Thai guy.
Jesus Christ. I don't know.
The Thai guy who beat Roman Gonzalez.
Hey, but what do you think of the Eastern European style of boxing? Just the straight knockouts, raw power.
The way I see it, there's two of them really. The old Eastern European school was basically how Postol fights, kind of like that flat-footed, that's not very good style, honestly. And then there's basically what Lomachenko does, and it's like they're all trying to model themselves after Lomachenko at this point, because you can see a lot of similarities. I know they train together, but you see a lot of similarities between like him and Usyk, and also Vostok at times. Who else they got? Kaitrov does similar things.
I like the old style of Russian boxing, like, you know, what's his name? Like Kovalev, Provodnikov.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Kovalev has that style at all, though. Kovalev is more like
the big
rangy. Yeah, he's a big puncher, but like I wouldn't compare him. Yeah.
No, you're right,
let me
man.
look at some Russian boxers, like, like, you know, like, fucking, like, the big punchers that are flat-footed, but they can hurt their big person.
Yeah, Provodnikov and shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean when I say like the that's what I mean when I say like the old style of Eastern Europeans.
You're right.
Yeah, I like those.
You're right. There is a distinction between the old Eastern European styles and Eastern European style and the new one. They used to be more flat-footed, like you said, and straight up. You know, how can I describe it? Like a stand-up stance. They don't really hunch over or hunch forward. They're always standing up, and that makes it easier to, in a way, it makes it easier to bully them once they're on the ropes because they don't lurch forward. But I was also gonna ask when we're talking about, okay, in Europe we have the British, the UK, right? We have Germans. They're pretty good at it. Russians, obviously. Scotland's been making some pretty big waves for a long time.
Steve Collins, that's it.
No, wait. Steve. Oh yeah, you're right. No, sorry, I'm confused. Yeah, no, I was confusing fucking Ireland with.
No, Steve Collins is Irish.
Yeah,
that's right,
he's Irish.
So they've got no one.
Well, right now they have Carl Frampton, right?
Quigg
and Carl Frampton, yeah.
Oh, that's it.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's
Irish.
Northern Irish, yeah.
Hey, but do you guys remember Dmitry Pirog?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's actually. It's a tragedy that his back was injured the way it was and he couldn't continue, because that happened like when he was going to have a fight with Golovkin. I think that would have been a great fight. I think he had very, very high hopes in boxing, but shit happens. Rough.
Yeah, fuck.
I think Pirog could have beaten Golovkin, in my opinion.
I don't think so, but at the same time, we'll never know because they never fought. It's just that I don't see it happening.
No,
well, that's the thing.
Pirog, he was so talented, and it's sad what happened to him. So talented.
Yeah, he was fucking talented, but that's the thing.
Danny Jacobs look like a fucking retard.
That's the thing.
At the same time, Jacobs was suffering from cancer. He wasn't the same Jacobs that okay, the Jacobs that fought Pirog is like the Jacobs that got knocked out by Korobov in the amateurs. That's the same guy. That's different than the guy that fought Golovkin. That's how I will always look at that.
Plus, Danny Jacobs was quite young when he fought.
Yeah.
Only 23.
Yeah, there's arguments to be made on both sides because Pirog, after he knocked Jacobs out, he didn't look all that great against Kofi Jungtua and what was his name? Ishida.
That's a definite thing. Pirog is like the biggest what if in boxing.
He's the what?
Biggest what if in boxing. Like, what if he didn't injure his back and got those fights? Like, what would have happened with him? He's the biggest what if story.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the biggest, especially after the Daniel Jacobs win. But like you said, Daniel Jacobs, like, how do we know how damaged he was from? Was he suffering from cancer back then?
Yep, he was. Either cancer, like doing the treatment for it, but like he definitely wasn't, like, he was dealing with it in some way. It affected him, I'll say that.
Well, there you go. Then. Yeah, then that's a big asterisk.
Hey, what if Sergio Martinez started boxing when he was like in his 20s?
Was that?
If Sergio Martinez started boxing while he was in his 20s.
What if he didn't start when he was in the 20s, like started before?
No, no, like if he was big, like a big star in his 20s.
Oh, that's okay. A big star. Okay.
Like he was.
Honestly, Martinez is the guy that got me back into boxing at that point. I may have said this on like the last podcast, but I really enjoyed watching his fights because he had like this aura of vulnerability. Like a lot of guys, like guys, so they seem unbeatable. Martinez seemed like a guy that could always lose, but he always put it out. Like his fights, he would start amazing, just outboxing you, and then he would get caught by something or like seem to get lazy or something. Something would happen in like the mid rounds, and like, oh, he's going to lose, and then he would just come back, and that happened all the fucking time. I loved watching that.
I liked him. He was a sick boxer. Like I remember the last round of him versus Chavez, and he was about to get knocked out. That was intense.
Yeah, he was like a skilled version, or a southpaw skilled version of Arturo Gatti. You know, he had the power. He would make exciting fights because he always looked vulnerable. Like you said, he would always get hit in the beginning or middle rounds, and then he'd come rally back and knock the other guy out. I mean, he wasn't as in danger as Gatti was in most of his fights, but there was certainly an element of vulnerability that you normally don't see from the true middleweight champion of the world. All right, hold on. I'm gonna invite somebody wants to join the panel here. Polyblog Assassins. Hold on. Let's see if he comes through. What time is it, by the way?
7:24 for me.
Yeah, I get some 7:22.
Which means I'm gonna have to leave in about 5 minutes, guys.
Don't worry about it, man. We got another person coming in to fill the void.
Yeah, he can take my place.
Yeah, we got people on rotation here.
Will this podcasting still be on during the fight? Like
Repeat that, please.
I said, will you be on call during the fight?
Oof, I don't think so, man. I gotta watch the Cotto Kamegai. I mean, it'd be difficult for us to stream this at the same time. Eventually, we're gonna do it, but I don't think we're gonna do that today, man.
No worries, no worries.
All right, I invited this guy and.
Oh, I remember what I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay, so you know how like the LDBC? Am I getting that acronym right?
I think so.
Okay, you know how they're like these weird pro-black like guys that seem to just watch boxing for the sake of promoting, I don't know, black supremacy. Like how it's weird though. Okay, my barber is like one of those guys, and he hit me with a long series of the most absurd shit I've ever heard anyone say in like rapid fire.
Like what?
Okay, he started off with Kevin Kelly beat the shit out of Prince Nassim, and the fight was stopped prematurely because they needed Prince Nassim to win just so they could have a guy that wasn't black on top. He was dead. He was dead fucking serious. I'm like, what?
You see how fucking Kevin Kelly got dropped? That was fucking like he got hurt, man.
Yo, it was amazing. Let's see, what else did he say to me today? Danny Jacobs beat the shit out of Golovkin, and they needed Golovkin to get the win, and that's why he got awarded the gift decision. Tim Bradley fucked up Pacquiao, but they finally got the decision right, and he was happy at that.
Holy shit.
Yo, it was just...
Basically boxing ego.
Yo.
Yeah, he watched the 78 Sports and that ego guy. No, they're all jokes, man. There's not... anyways.
Holy fuck, I didn't know Manny Pacquiao had a younger brother.
I didn't know that either. Does he box as well?
He boxes or what?
He's 49 and 15.
What?
And he's
49 and 15?
And he's beating Kevin Kelly.
What?
I'm swear to God, Google it.
Last year?
No, when did he beat Kevin Kelly? Holy fuck, I didn't know this.
Oh shit, my friend's telling me about the Mayweather and Pacquiao, Mayweather and McGregor shit, and he's saying that like nobody is there for the prelims fights that's happening right now. They're televising and shit, but like the arena is like empty.
Well, it's 7:30. What time it starts at 9, no?
So Bobby Pacquiao.
They have like little prelim fight. Have you ever been to a boxing event? How they have those free like fights they don't even televise, It's like those, only they're televising these, it seems.
Hey, Sean Porter is one of them. Is on one of them, isn't he?
No. He was supposed to be, but he had a family issue about that, so he's not fighting. I have a conspiracy theory about that. I think they couldn't afford to pay everyone.
You're sounding like your barber, man.
I think they couldn't afford to pay everyone, so like Porter had to just step aside.
You know, actually, that makes sense.
Kevin Kelly lost to Bobby Pacquiao in 2006.
We're sure this is the same guy, like Pacquiao's brother?
Honest to God, it says Alberto Bobby Pacquiao is a Filipino former professional boxer. He's the younger brother of Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, Bobby Pacquiao. He also lost to Humberto Soto, I think. But was he his younger brother or his older brother?
Younger brother.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
The more you know.
But hold on. Just real quick, Victor, before you leave, your barber, is he a flat earther?
I'll ask him about that next time I see him. I doubt it, but man, my barber he's a good guy, honestly, but he's on some shit.
Record the conversations, man.
Record his conversations?
Yeah, record and then bring him back to us and we'll play him on the air, man.
I would never do that to this man.
Wait, hold on. You're not using your real name, right, are you?
He was getting mad at HBO for only having like one boxer on the one black boxer on their top 5 pound for pound.
That sounds like something he would get upset about too.
Or 2 pound for pound. 2 black boxers. 1 I can't remember.
Yep.
Hey man, as long as you can fucking fight, who cares what color you are?
Right? You would think that that's a thing, but nah.
Well, because some people,
it's about excitement, knockouts.
There you go, King Bucha. That's
exciting fights, man. I don't want to see boring fights. I don't care what color you are. Don't want to see that shit.
Well, for some people, it's entertaining to talk about race and about conspiracy theories about why some people are being held back. And I mean, there's certainly an element of that always in society. But come on, this is boxing, man. We're not trying to change the world here.
Basically, McGregor fans, they bring race into everything.
McGregor fans are like that? That's interesting.
How could you not know that? They're like the fucking most retarded people on earth.
Yo, I just recently started talking to like boxing fans. Alright, time for me to go. I'm out.
Alright, peace.
I see you, Victor. Thank you for joining us, Victor. It was a certainly pleasant conversation as always. Hassan, anything else you want to say?
No, I'm good for now.
Are you gonna break it down for me? Because I heard you say that you gotta work tomorrow. You said.
Me?
Yeah, you gotta work tomorrow, right?
No. I've got nowhere to go tomorrow.
Oh, okay,
Saturday, it's fucking Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. I got nothing to do tomorrow.
Okay, so you're gonna stay up and watch the fight then?
Yeah, till 5 a.m.
Holy moly! But there's the Cotto Kamegai fight that you gotta watch that one first.
Nah, what time's that?
Well, here it starts at I think it starts at 9 if I'm correct. So over there in good old England, you probably it's a 5-hour difference, I believe. So 9, it's about 2 a.m. I think.
2 a.m. Yeah, I might watch that. I'll watch that fight first, and then I'll.
Don't take my math. Take my math with a grain of salt, man, because I'm awful at math.
I can just check. I can just Google it.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, and fuck, we didn't even scratch the surface of what we were gonna talk about here. But the undercard for Cotto Kamegai, we also have Ray Vargas taking on Ronnie Rios. That's gonna be, if you have the time, you gotta catch that one, because Ray Vargas has the potential to be somebody to look out for. He trains with Nacho Berenstein. He still doesn't have that Juan Manuel Marquez pedigree or skill level. But he certainly looks like a guy that's gonna make some things happen, man. So watch out for that one.
As I was saying, Nacho Bernstein. Who's he trained other than Marquez?
Nacho Bernstein. At this moment, I'm not entirely sure. I think he only, from what I know, he only has Ray Vargas. But every time I look at footage of his gym and everything, he's always got a whole bunch of fucking fighters in the gym training and everything. So you know, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see somebody coming out of that gym. For the moment, he only has Ray Vargas.
He's been around forever. How old is he? Fuck it, let me Google this.
Nacho Berenstein.
78 years old. Damn, he's old. Yeah, he trained Chavez Jr.
Okay, yeah, but that was a one-time.
But we all know how that went.
Exactly, yeah.
He's trained Oscar de la Hoya, Abner Morris.
Well, before that, he had a guy named Saragossa. No, what was his name? He was called the Mouse. He was fucking good.
Zaragoza.
Yeah, the Saragossa. He was good, awkward. He also had some other fighters too before that. I mean, he's pretty renowned for having skilled fighters. Really, a lot of. Oh, and of course, what was his name? Lopez. I can't believe I'm forgetting names. This is the problem when you talk for so long, you start forgetting shit.
Rodolfo Lopez.
No, not Rodolfo Lopez. Well, I mean, he was a champion too, I believe, but.
Ricardo Lopez.
Ricardo Lopez. I can't believe I forgot. He's one of the top 20 best Mexican fighters of all time. But again, he didn't really fight. There wasn't that much competition for him at that point, but fuck. Oh, yeah, like Reverse Lee saying he's got Johnny Gonzalez too right now, Nacho Berenstein, so there's
wow.
that.
Google Ricardo Lopez, and the first thing that comes up is a stalker who tried to kill an Icelandic singer.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that the fat guy that shot himself?
Yeah, it is. He comes up before the fight, the boxer.
Yeah. Ricardo Lopez was the guy who was stalking. What was his name? What was her name? Bjork, I think. I just saw his name, but I believe it was Bjork, and he filmed a bunch of creepy videos and mailed them to her. And then he mailed her one video where he shot himself in the. Oh no, actually, he didn't mail her the video, but there's a video of him shooting himself in the face for her or something like that. That's how he died. So those are the perks of being a famous singer, man.
But people are weird, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, no shit. I'm a little bit weird myself, man. I don't know if people have.
No, from what from what I've seen of you, you're a normal guy.
He's a fucking psycho, man.
Well, thanks, King Butcher. That's really Yeah, if we had a contest about who was more psychotic, I'd say King Butcher would take it by a long mile.
But I did.
Hey, bro, do you ever just look at someone on this? Like, say you're walking down the street and you just look at someone and you just hate them for no reason, like you just hate their face.
Andre Ward.
Well, like just a random person that you've never met and you just hate them, and you just start talking shit about them in your head. Does that ever happen to you?
And then you're starting your head thinking like how you're gonna kill him and shit. Yeah, always.
What the fuck, man?
That's a bit too far, yeah. But
yeah, he's going a bit too far. No, I get what you're saying, Hassan. Sometimes people rob you.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
Yeah, sometimes you look at somebody and you can't be friends with everybody, and every once in a while you're gonna find somebody that just the vibe that they put off, you're never gonna be friends, and it's just something you dislike about them. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Slutty women. No, I like slutty women because, you know.
Slutty women?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what some guy wrote in the comment in the chat.
Oh yeah, that's what somebody. Yo, those quotes from the guys on the what was her, Michelle Phelps? No,
yeah, Joey
Phelps.
Yeah, the Joey Phelps, whatever her name is. I don't even remember her name. But the comments, man, those fucking hilarious. We gotta do, King Butcher, you gotta do a video on that.
Oh, you will.
1:30 a.m. The fight is in 1 hour. Yeah, the fight is in 1 hour.
All right. Listen, we've been here for 3 hours. Polyblog.
Jesus.
Polyblog Assassins. I know you wanted to come in, but I think we're gonna end it. What happens was, you send us a link. I mean, you send us a message through Google Hangouts, and then I invite you. But for some reason, you're not getting.
You have to answer the call when he calls you. You have to answer.
Exactly.
When BDA calls you, you answer.
That's always how it works. You gotta answer the call of BDA, man. Even if you're dreaming at night and you get a message, that's a holy prophecy right there. You gotta answer the call and serve.
Why don't you do a post-fight?
I don't. I wish I could, but fuck, it's gonna be late at that point. We already went 3 hours, and my stamina right now is not up to point.
You're gonna take a break after the fight.
Now we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, we'll
King
see.
Butcher. No fucking pressure. Are you gonna do one, King Butcher?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hey,
The
what's your
fuck.
channel, King Mucho?
I stopped doing videos for that channel. Yeah.
He's part of the BDA
I do
organization.
videos on the BDA channel.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those some videos are mine, some are not.
Yeah, he's part of the BDA organization now, full time.
BDA organ.
That's right.
BDA Corporation.
The BDA Corporation has got benefits, gym privileges, all that shit.
Right, I was having this discussion with one of my friends. What's the most like stupidest thing that you heard a casual fan say?
Oh, there's a whole bunch, man. Remember King Bucho one time we were watching a fight at a bar, in a bar, and afterwards, you know, all the people congregate outside, and this guy was saying something about, what was he saying, King Bucho? What was it that he was saying that was outrageous? Anyway, it's a real fucking
I don't know, but once I was in the bar and this guy keeps saying like, this was before Canelo fought Cotto, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Canelo already fought Cotto. I'm like, no, that was his brother. And he swore to me like, no, he already fought Miguel Cotto. I'm like, no, that was the brother. He kept insisting. I was like, at some point I just gave up. I was like, you know what, fuck it, man. This guy's fucked up, man.
Yeah, the Wilder fans are especially retarded, like that fucking Windmill guy. Like I've heard a McGregor fan say McGregor would beat up Anthony Joshua.
Sorry, was I missed it?
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
I heard someone say that Conor McGregor would beat Anthony Joshua.
Oh, no.
How old is this person?
No one said that. No one said.
I swear to God, in the YouTube comments. Yeah, I've seen loads of comments like that, like McGregor would KO this guy.
That's like a 12-year-old man. I hope so.
No.
Well, listen, it's the internet. People are gonna say stupid shit. I was just reading yesterday. I was reading comments about the weigh-in, and people are talking about Conor McGregor having an erection during the weigh-in. I'm thinking, come on, man, that's the type of conversation you're gonna run to every once in a while, and these people are gonna write whatever they want because it's the internet. You get to write whatever you want.
Hey, but he did have an erection.
You know what? I'm not even gonna fucking. I didn't look close enough to see that. So I'm gonna.
And he thought of the money, and he just got a direction.
Yeah, that's what.
And I would too. Imagine you're getting 100 million. I would get a boner, wouldn't you? 100 fucking million.
Dude, I'd get a boner for $100, man.
Bro, I would. What was the least amount of money that you would suck a dick for?
Okay, wait, hold on a second. What's going on here?
Hold up. I'll do it for about 100 grand minimum. Because I'm not gay.
Are you a faggot?
So what's the story with you two? You couple of fags?
But it's 100 grand at the end of the day.
100 grand. That's low, man.
But that's low.
That's low. 100 grand.
How much would you do it for?
First of all, I wouldn't do it for any amount of money. I'm telling you that right now, and I know people say that all the time. Wow. But I'm putting my foot down right now, or my cock down, and I'm saying no. No cock sucking here.
No, you would do it, bro. Say if someone offers you 100 million, that's your like the rest of your. You don't even have to work for the rest of your life.
Okay, you know what it is here? There's two things. There's two reasons why people wouldn't do it. One is shame, right? If people found out that you sucked a cock, and you would feel shame. But then there's something a little more deeper, which is self-integrity, because you'd be willing to sell yourself for that amount of money. Then again, listen, it's about circumstances too, right? If you're starving, let's say you're in a post-apocalyptic life world or something, and somebody says, a rich guy says, hey, listen, I'll give you a loaf of bread, you gotta suck my dick. That's a whole different story right there, am I right?
True.
Yeah, but for money,
man... going nowhere.
For money, man, yeah.
Your identity, bro. I mean,
what's that?
When you think about it,
no, I don't want to think about it.
And it doesn't make you gay at the end of the day. You've done it for the benefit. If you get it for like the greater good. It sounds weird, but you just it for the greater good.
What is this fucking conversation, man? No, listen. Hey, are you gonna tell? You're one of those guys that says, hey, if a guy sucks your dick but he doesn't look at you in the eyes, you're not gay, right?
That's not me. Bro, come on, 100 fucking million. Think about that. Just think about that.
No, I don't want to think about it.
So you would choose fucking like self-integrity and all of that bullshit over 100 million.
Hey, what would you choose? 100 million or but okay, if somebody says you
Bradley's wife.
What's that?
Hey, bro, I'll
million.
do Tim Bradley's wife for free.
Yeah, somebody says just get a new identity.
Joy Phelps or that other Filipino guy. What's her name again?
wait. Reversely saying chicks have sucked for a 6-piece nugget.
Honest God. We was in McDonald's. This is true. My mother's life story. We was in McDonald's one time and there's this girl from my school and honest to God, she sucked a dick for a Happy Meal.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time. That happens all the time, man. Man, you gotta realize too.
Sorry?
Oh, okay. Fuck. Hassan, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Repeat yourself, please.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk.
No. I just go. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay, well, just real quick that just remember, in Hollywood, if you want to make it as a superstar, male, female, whatever, you gotta suck dick.
Honestly, are you serious?
Fuck.
You think that same thing with Al Heyman though?
That he had to suck dick?
No, you work with the.
You know what I think?
I don't know what
Al Heyman looks like the type of guy who has a long. It's not a big dick, but it's like a long dick. You know what I mean? I don't know why that's. I see Al Heyman that way. A long gray dick.
Hey, hold on. Let me get some more comments.
No, man, we're gonna go through comments again. Fuck.
I got one that I was trying.
The best one, man.
Best one. All right, I'll get this.
Yo, Kaiser Kova says, "How many times has Oscar done Canelo up the ass?" Oh man. Yeah, Canelo with that voice of his. Oscar, stop fucking me.
Where are you?
Oh man. Great conversation here at BDA Boxing. All right, we're gonna have to cut it short. Hassan, put up the best quote you have, man. You can find. Come on.
Alright, let's hold up. That's fine.
Have you heard Michelle Joy Phelps laugh? It's like a fucking cackle, man.
Holy shit. Yeah, I hope.
I'll just find one.
I hope more people don't listen to this podcast ever, man. Cause man.
So Anthony Joshua had like a sore throat and his voice was really high pitched. This is what someone wrote in the comment.
Oh, hold on. I gotta read it out there.
That's the best comment you came up with.
It's pretty funny when you watch the video and and you hear Anthony Joshua's voice.
You want me to read it or you read it?
You can read it if you want. I don't mind.
All right. The comment says.
I found it.
Alright.
He sounds like that. He sounds like that because Michelle just finished sucking his bollocks dry. Jesus Christ. Someone get a wet floor sign and a mop to clean that up, or else get me a straw. Jeez.
Do you really think Joshua's... yeah, probably. Joshua's fucking everybody, like you said.
Oh, yeah.
Even Manny.
How would you? He's taking advantage of his fame. Who wouldn't do that?
Yeah, who wouldn't do that? Come on.
Are you faggots?
He can literally fuck any woman he wants right now.
What's that?
What?
I said he can fuck any woman he wants right now. And no repercussions because Joshua. Like, if Anthony Joshua wanted to fuck my wife, bro, I'm tucking him into bed.
Are you faggots?
And I'm making them both hot chocolate as well because I ain't trying to get my fucking face busted in.
How dare you talk to me like that? Stupid fucking American cunt! You fucking no good cunt!
What does your cunt taste like?
Bull fucking shit!
All right.
Put that one again. What the fuck was that?
Which one? Which one?
The last one. The last one.
The last one? I think it was...
Yeah, well, the last one you played.
Fucking shit.
What does your cunt taste like?
That one?
Yeah.
What does your cunt taste like?
And I say all this not out of pride or shame, I just want to make sure that you grasp it. I already grasp how things work around here.
His words ravaged my soul.
Wow, I'm impressed.
All right. That's enough of that. Guys, Hassan, thank you for joining us, man. It was a pleasure talking to you.
You too, man.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely come back whenever you want, man. The next time we do this.
Yeah, I'll be back. This is fun, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you're a funny motherfucker, man.
There's no boundaries.
No boundaries. Alright, bro. Peace.
Alright, Hassan, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you the next time we do this. Probably during the... we're hoping we can do one of these again during the week, right, King Bucho?
Yeah, man, yeah. And I gotta bounce because I'm gonna go watch the shit fight with some friends, so...
You're gonna watch... Oh, yeah, you gotta watch the fight, right?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch!
Anyway, man.
Yeah. I gotta get ready. I have like fucking 10 minutes.
Alright, King Bucho, thank you for joining us. Again, Hassan.
Alright, man. See you later, man.
See you later, man. I also want to thank Victor Atkins for joining us. As always, a great commenter. Hassan as well. As for me, well, let's just say we're going to try to keep doing this during the week. Definitely going to keep doing them during the weekend, especially as the Canelo Golovkin fight comes to a nearest, I should say. We're going to keep making videos on the fight, analyzing it. I know people are fucking shitting on us. You know, we make one video highlighting Canelo's strengths, and then people say we're Canelo not huggers. Then we make one about Golovkin's strengths, and we're Golovkin not huggers. I suppose we not hug everyone here at BDA. And that's the question that Hassan asked. How much would I get paid to suck a cock? Apparently, we're already doing it here. But we enjoy making the videos. We don't give a shit. Hey, say whatever the fuck you want to say on the BDA's comment section. Well, that's what we want. This is a boxing debate arena. There are no boundaries here. Call us cocksuckers, assholes, motherfuckers, whatever you want to say. And, you know, as long as you guys are commenting and giving us your input, we appreciate it. Thanks everyone for joining us on the chat room. Kaiser Koba, Reverse Lee. Some fucking funny comments right there, man. Gennady Golovkin was in there as well. I know that's not the real one, but hey. Amino Acid. Again, Polyblog. Sorry we couldn't get you in this time. We'll get you next time, bro. What's his name? Polyblog Assassins. Yeah, we'll get you on the next one, man. Don't worry about it. There's always place for more people here. And thank you for joining us. And we will see you on the next one. As always, on the next one.